This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey, buddy, did you miss the big news? The Doughboys are doing a comic book. That's right, Doughboys the comic book, Mitch and Weiger Chew America, Crisis on Infinite Girths is coming soon, and you can pre-order it right now at brkids.com. Each Doughboys comic comes with a toy pack that's a random Mitch or random Weiger. You don't get to choose, but you do get to choose what you want to do with it. Wink. These comics are legitimately the most excited we've been about something at Doughboys in a while. The writer Alex Fearer and the artist Fred C. Stressing have done an incredible job. I mean, just look at this thing. You can see some of these pages here. And hey, I know somebody who's already enjoying it. It's a really, really cool thing that exists, that you can own. And we'd love it if you would order yourself a copy. So go to brkids.com. Check out Doughboys, the comic book. We'll see you in the funny pages. The not-so-funny pages. Project 985. It either sounds like a meaningless generic corporate initiative or an order from Emperor Palpatine. But it was in fact a massive, transformative investment in Chinese higher education launched in May 1998, the 98.5, by then-President Jiang Zemin. It's typical of China's 21st century expansion of its public sector, just as the U.S. accelerated its ongoing goal of fully dismantling its own in favor of private sector graft. One of the 39 research universities given billions in funding via Project 985 was Nankai University, where computer science students Zheng Yiming and Liang Rubo were college roommates, beginning a long collaboration that would culminate in the founding of ByteDance in 2012. By 2017, ByteDance launched its signature product, TikTok, which ultimately transformed social media worldwide. A yes-and of the earlier Vine that allowed for both pithy videos of big asses shaking and more expansive videos of some beardo explaining some bullshit like a real fuckface. As TikTok became both a cultural moment and a political flashpoint, Yiming and Rubo remained largely out of the spotlight, a contrast with Western tech CEOs who seemed determined to become celebrity Nazis with their own space programs. And it was their innovative Chinese video platform that indirectly resuscitated a staid American chain restaurant. In 2024, Yankee TikTokers began posting en masse about a 50-year-old Dallas-founded Tex-Mex concept known for its big mouth burgers and baby back ribs. Motivated by nostalgia and/or novelty, influencers gravitated toward promoting the Triple Dipper appetizer sampler. According to parent company Brinker International CEO Kevin Hochman, after this triforce of apps went viral, quote, the Triple Dipper accounted for about 40% of the chain's sales growth. Hochman and company savvily embraced virality with surprisingly non-cringy corporate social media and a traditional media campaign focusing on the sit-down chain's price competitiveness with drive-thru to wild success. The Chinese ascendancy over American platforms and social media is mirrored in the fast food sector, where Chinese upstart Mixue has now usurped American companies McDonald's, Starbucks, and Subway to become the largest chain in the world. And whether or not the 21st century is in fact the Chinese century, it's clear that with the U.S. embracing police-state fascism, laying off thousands of government workers, and allowing the rise of smartless mobile, it won't be the American century. But at least we've got Nashville hot mozzarella sticks. This week, on the 500th episode of Doughboys, we return, once again, to Chili's. Barbecue sauce.
It's the Doughboys!
Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Tiger Weiger, along with my co-host, double-stuffed Wario, Spoon Man Mike Mitchell. That's fun.
I do feel double stuffed today.
Oh my God, you're telling me.
And I'm about to get the new cart, Wags. The new Mario Kart.
That's right, Mario Kart World. While your Switch 2 is en route, as of this record, you're waiting for it to arrive at your domicile.
A friend of ours pre-ordered extra Switch 2s.
We can shout him out. It's,
All right,
it's Henry Gilbert from Talking
Henry Gilbert
Simpsons, an absolute prince of a man.
He offered us Switch 2s, and you and I both said yes, and then I cursed your delivery, and now my delivery has been cursed. You already have.
Yeah, it was just fucking.
Yeah, I guess it is
karma.
Backfire. Yeah, I guess that's karma.
You said like
man.
you wanted mine to get shipped to the city dump or something like that.
No. I said no matter what happens, just send me the better one. That's what I said.
So that's
a joke
what it was,
because it's the same
thing.
Right. And then
wait, no. Then I said I wanted yours to get shipped to the city dump. That's what it was.
And then that's what happened. So you've experienced no karma from it.
Yeah.
500 episodes.
Wow, 500 episodes. Mitch, what is there to say besides this is Sparta? 500.
Yeah.
Jesus. Was Switch 1 even out when we started the show?
Yes. 2015, we launched Doughboys. The entire Switch 1's run is contained within the Doughboys podcast.
Wow.
How about that?
It came out the year we started?
2017, the Switch comes out.
Okay, so a year after we started.
What came out the year we started, Mitch, two things launched. First
off, I
off,
was using the Wii U when the show started.
Wii U, we were playing the Wii U like a couple of assholes.
Wow.
The year we started, two things launched, Mitch. Donald Trump's presidential campaign.
That's right.
And Disney Star Wars. So how about that?
And, at least one of them ended. You can't. That may be my monkey
Disney
paw
Star Wars
wish.
trilogy.
Yeah. You know what? I would happily have the Star Wars continue on if Trump was done.
Hey, Mitch, speaking of milestones.
Yes, Wags.
Our video producer, Casey Donahue, has a milestone of his own. Wrapped his movie. How about that? Congratulations, Casey.
Thanks, guys.
You did it.
Since last time you were in studio with us in the main feed, you shot a feature film that you directed. Congratulations. That's so amazing.
That's right. Thank you.
What was that like? Because you had like it's a low budget feature, indie feature. You had a super compressed schedule, I know, but it seemed like the footage that I saw, the stills that I saw, looked really, really cool.
Yeah, it was it was kind of daunting at first.
Yeah,
trying to shoot a whole movie in 13 shooting days.
Wow,
is what we had, and I'd say like after the first day, like it became like pretty clear. Like the pre-production was great. We were planning for this, and everything like went really well. So
hell yeah.
We there's one day where it rained and we were shooting outside, and that set us back like half a day, but we made it up. It's kind of an incredible crew I was working with, and I think we made like a pretty cool movie.
That's
and
so
last
cool.
night we just had like a couple pickups to do with Mitch, and he was there for the last shot of the movie.
I was there at closing on out, and you know what? To quote William Hung, she bangs. The movie's
boy.
The movie. Don't you? Oh no, Deus.
Thanks for getting the heat off of me for that 300 reference earlier. I am Sauron is on you now.
It's a banger, Wags. The movie's a banger.
I'm very, very excited for
That's
it.
awesome.
Can't bring up William Hung. That was my nickname for my dad.
You had a big dick.
Yeah. Hey, William Hung, and he's like, just call me Dad.
Call me Whammer. What was his name? Whammer's Hammer.
Whammer's Hammer. Whammer's Hammer.
Yeah.
We're talking about Whammer's Hammer.
He works for the LA Sheriff's Department now. He does.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there was.
William Hung does?
He was on Jamie Loftus's podcast, 16th Minute.
Wow.
16th Minute. It's a very good podcast.
Yeah.
And she interviewed him, and he works for the LA Sheriff's Department.
Oh my God.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
He's a crime analyst for the LA County Sheriff's
Oh my God.
I know one crime you should analyze: his singing voice.
Oh no.
Sauron's gone. Yes, with the protests downtown, my Switch 2 is affected by that, which is, one of the most important matters.
So sorry.
Thank you,
Are you
everyone.
okay?
Yeah. If you can send me some thoughts and support.
Switch 2's in a UPS warehouse just gets vaporized by a Predator drone.
It's weird that you called downtown LA the city dump earlier.
The hell, Wags?
Wait a minute.
Wags, I want to say howdy ho to Spoon Nation, a happy 500. And, well, isn't that special? All righty then. We used to do
Bring
those.
them all back.
We used to do those. I thought I would do it for the podcast.
Yes.
Let's keep bringing back stuff we discontinued for some reason.
I think I just played. Did I ever do them myself or no?
You did them yourself.
I did do them myself.
You did some yourself,
and then you started playing them off your phone.
And then I started playing off my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I did. I wanted to give a little.
I loved it.
I want to give a little throwback to.
Yeah.
Alrighty then's a very funny line. It is. He came up with that on his own, right?
Yeah.
He had to have. A smart man.
My understanding of the Ace Ventura process, and as part of this, some of this I absorbed from our buddies of the Blank Check podcast, but was that was another script that existed that he put a lot of Jim Carrey into. He kind of just made it was like more of a pet detective as like the joke of it, and then he more made it like I'm going to make this weird character on top of it.
I think the IR Sauron is going to split into two and just watch both of us the entire episode because. It's 500 and we're bombing, baby. Oh, well. And it was so excited when we started. Amelia was dancing like the Six Flags guy. And we have hats, Wags.
We have hats. We have little party hats with minions on them. How about that? I was not expecting any sort of spectacle here.
I don't know if... I'm very nervous about putting this on my head.
I'm putting my hair through it.
I'm very nervous about this.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling... For audio listeners, these are like conical birthday hats with minions on them. To celebrate this milestone. It's this string
does it make my head look smaller at all?
Weirdly no.
Yeah.
If anything, the like size comparison of the hat to the head makes your head look bigger.
Kind of exaggerates the mass.
Look like Littleface from Dick Tracy. Or you have a littler face on your face.
I do look. Who's the one that has a flat top? I feel like I'm very similar to Flat Top too.
Yeah, Prune Face, guys, so scary as shit.
Yeah, Prune Face was scary as hell. And then wait, was it No Faces? Turns out, well, no spoilers, but
it's Breathless.
Breathless Mahoney.
Oh, yeah, Breathless Mahoney.
Yeah. Breathless Mahoney turns out to be faceless. Is who's the guy with no face? No face.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what it's called. No face.
Yeah.
I saw that movie with my dad in theaters.
Why does No Face sound wrong? You could be right.
It is No Face.
It is No Face. I believe you. I trust you on the Dick Tracy canon because I know this is a thing that you're really plugged into the Tracy Zooms In special.
Yes.
Oh, that's
the earlier
extra
one.
special where you had to keep the rights to it?
He did it twice.
What's the other special? They're not both Tracy Zooms In.
They're Dick Tracy. First one is called Dick Tracy Special, and that's one is Tracy Zooms In. And he has to do them every 8 years or 10 years. 12 years. He's just to squat on the rights.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
No one else can beat Dick Tracy. Watch them on YouTube. They're really, really good.
It feels like Dick Tracy needs some sort of reboot at this point. Everything else.
No, they can't.
He owns the rights. Warren Beatty's squatting on
release them.
Yeah.
But does he not want to give up the rights for I thought he just wanted to make money off of it.
I think he wants to be Dick Tracy in a new Dick Tracy movie.
He doesn't want anyone else.
Yeah, he doesn't want anyone else to portray
They
him.
should make a new one with him. I think that would be great. I know he's 80 something at this point, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But still, I saw him not too long ago. He looked great.
Wow.
Yeah. When Gary Shandling passed away.
Okay.
That's like a decade ago, maybe?
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
All right, yeah. Well, he looks great then.
Almost an entire Dick Tracy special ago.
Emma, let's hit him with a drop.
In front of a shower stands a tall Quincy man, jacking his dick with a wet white hand.
Is that you?
Is it you? It's DK.
Hold on,
it wasn't me.
Was that the whole thing?
No, I think that sounded like DK to me.
Wow.
Wet White Hand by Mitch Cave and the Sad Seeds, featured in Wes Craven's Scream, Come and Comer. What? Scream, Come and Comer, and used as the theme song for No Peaky Blinders. There's a lot of jokes in that sentence. Sorry, Mitch, and congrats to you, Weiger, and the whole crew on 500 episodes. Cheers, DK.
Wow, the drop
DK, was that original audio?
He laid down some vocals for that.
I thought it was you. I had no idea.
No, I think that was DK.
That was DK? What the fuck, DK? Wow. I love it, Wags. Thanks, DK. 500 eps. Wags.
500 episodes. I didn't shout, Mitch. I didn't shout out the roaster. I'm realizing submitted this one a few times. Still think it is great. Food and video games. It's perfect. Happy eating those from Paul C. Roast at birdfuck.com and drops at birdfuck.com. Mitch, 500 episodes. We have a great guest, the only guest we could do this episode with. I want to introduce in 1 second, but I have a real quick thing. Just for my dad, because we covered Randy's Donuts with Garrett Reynolds a couple weeks ago, and my dad texted us about it. I'll just read this. You should have told me you were doing Randy's about 50 years ago. Not that long ago, because it's about my brother. He's not that old. There were a bunch of these shops with the huge donut signs, and we lived in Gardena about a block from one. This was before Nick, me. But I'd occasionally put Nate in his stroller and walk over and buy a dozen for $2 to $3. It's gone now. My dad walking over to the big donut, the big Randy's donut with my alpha brother Nate as a baby in a stroller.
Alpha baby.
Yeah, buying a dozen donuts for $2. How about that?
That fucking rules.
Wow. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love a little history of your of alpha brother Nate. And you know what? Your dad and your mom, they both support the podcast, even though I think you would. I feel like sometimes you would rather them not even listen to it.
I mean, it's weird.
I love it. I love that they do. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Wags.
Yeah. God bless them.
And Nate, your alpha brother Nate. 10, we started the podcast 10 years ago.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Wags? Are you ready for it to end?
Bad. I don't know. How do you feel?
Yeah, bad too, I guess.
Bad. But I'm really happy that we have our guests back today. Our first ever guest on our first ever episode. And the guest on our only lost episode, Eva Anderson, is here. Hi, Eva.
Hi, guys. 500.
500.
It's so crazy.
We've lost another episode before. We lost some.
We lost the first half of an episode.
We lost the first half of it.
But the rest of that episode still went out, so I technically don't consider it lost.
Yeah. But we also lost 10 years.
I know.
That's right.
Where did they go?
Christ.
What happened to us?
What a way to put it.
Where did our lives go? We've lost 10 years of our lives.
Yeah. Jemmy was not even born 10 years ago.
Probably not. We think she's about 7 or 8. So.
Oh man.
Wow. She's a little dog sperm. Same with Wally and Irma, little cat crim. They didn't exist
How about
yet.
That?
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
New life has been created.
I'm sure plenty of it.
Lots of it.
Yeah. There's a little 10-year-old running around right now that wasn't there when we first started.
Which were just like all the babies that were conceived while listening to. To what? The scale? Specifically?
Eva, you were in Vegas recently.
Yes, I was in Vegas. I just wrapped up working on this Apple show, and we shot the last 4 days in Las Vegas. And I wanted to tell you guys that I was walking around. Well, first of all, there was a whole new Guy Fieri restaurant I hadn't even known about.
Wow.
That it's a sports bar in Kitchen that's inside of Caesar's Palace. So
that's
that's
what
really
it's called?
Guy's Sports Bar in Kitchen. Also, there was like a standee of Guy.
That's fun.
And he got skinny.
Guy's skinny?
Guy's skinny. Interesting.
That's not fun.
He's slim. And then
he wasn't always the biggest guy. Like, he did. There's maybe a little bit of a belly on him.
But it was kind of a guy that you felt like you could grab his shoulders and mess around a little bit.
Yeah, streamlined. But then there's a Jimmy Kimmel comedy club that's kind of behind the link, and I went in there to get a drink, and I was talking to the bartender, and she was like, I was asking her, like, what are the good comedians? And she was telling me some names of people I just never heard of, but said they were really funny. They come in from out of town. And then I walked up to the front to be like, oh, look at the schedule of who's there every day. And these people and women that she had mentioned were there. And then, like, Wednesday, Thursday, every single week, Carlos Mencia headlines this comedy club.
Has a residency at the Kimmel in Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was wild.
That's crazy.
I didn't know what he was up to.
Yeah, I guess he's doing that. And then I was thinking about the person who got him in trouble for, do you remember who it was?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. And how those two men's lives have diverged.
Yeah.
Where one of them is the most powerful person on the planet.
Yes.
And the other one is just performing at this comedy club in an alley
Dear God.
in Las Vegas.
On Not the Marquee Nights.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Wow.
I think were the night. So anyway, that blew my mind.
That is crazy. I remember when he took Mencia down, I was like, that's cool that Rogan did. I was like, I liked, and he took him down over stealing jokes from Louis C.K. Wasn't that what it was?
Was it Ari?
Or Ari?
I have no idea.
I think he stole from multiple people.
Yeah, but he stole from a couple people. That was it.
Thief.
But that just blew my mind.
Wow.
Guy Fieri only makes trash can nachos now. every different place. They used to be a bunch of different types of nachos in the various restaurants. They all are just variations on trash can nachos, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like as an exercise in branding, it's like donkey sauce, trash can nachos
Sure.
sits with you.
Chicken guy.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. The Guy Italian nachos at the New York Times Square weren't the best.
No.
Yeah, and also Guy Italian, I feel like is kind of a strained portmanteau.
You think so?
Wasabi nachos that used to be at the Las Vegas Kitchen, pretty good, but now you just get trash can. That's all you get. Anyway,
Is that Times Square one still around or
No.
No, that
It's
one
gone?
closed years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it closed years ago.
I think it closed like right after you guys went. You think you closed it?
The same might be true for the Planet Hollywood we just recently went to.
You know what's still open also, and I wanted to go into, but it didn't time out. Heart Attack Grill.
Wow,
Oh, man,
that place is
yeah.
still hanging
It's
out.
still there, yeah, and it still has a big scale you have to step onto to go
Right.
inside, and they give you a hospital gown.
What is the
Eat in
threshold for a free meal now? Because I know they raised it at a certain point.
I don't know.
I think it used to be 300 pounds or 350 pounds, and now I think it's like 400 plus.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
But
Oh, they've gone woke.
So they're actively trying to get you to have a heart attack, like
Yeah.
while you're there.
That's like the joke
I
of
think
it.
so,
And then
yeah.
didn't someone actually have a heart
yeah,
attack
people
there?
have died at the Heart Attack Grill.
Yeah.
There were people, and the waitresses are dressed like doctors,
Right. Yeah.
and then
Right.
you're dressed like a patient, and then everything has everything's fried in like beef tallow and stuff, which
Yeah,
is
so
better
there-
than seed oils, man.
So there's
That-
kind of like a horny aspect to it
It's
too, right?
horny
Like a
and-
little bit.
Yeah, gross. Anyway,
I want to try. I mean, we
I mean, we should
never-
do an episode on it. Probably.
We were talking about doing Chili's 2 at one point.
Mhm.
Yes, which we
Which-
did in Vegas. I think we've never done like Vegas proper, but we could do things like we could do the Guy Fieri Sports Bar. We could certainly do the Heart Attack Grill. I'm really interested in that Taylor Sheridan Steakhouse.
oh yeah,
man.
And then I think isn't that where the fucking awful Netflix restaurant is?
Yes.
So I mean, it's probably a thing we should cover.
there's like multiple Vanderpump restaurants,
Right? Yeah. That's a
Um,
world that is completely a black box to me. I don't know anything about the Vanderpumps, and I know some people it's like they're obsessed with it. But
Another weird update. I don't know if because you guys know on another podcast, I covered the Chris Angel restaurant Kablip.
Oh,
I've
yes.
been there
Oh, right.
twice.
Yeah.
And one of the things about that place is that when he opened it, he had to close right away because there wasn't enough refrigeration. And so there's these giant mobile refrigerators that take up most of the parking lot.
Oh
and
my
it's,
God.
when you go, and you
Your
notice it.
food is just sitting out in a fridge in the parking lot?
Yes. But then Chris Angel was having a warehouse sale while I was there, and John Daly, the very funny actor and comedian, was there as well. And so I didn't get in in time, but John went to the warehouse sale
wow,
where he was selling a bunch of like magic props and curtains and lights and stuff from his show at Mystica that closed. But he was selling the 2 refrigerators from Kablip. Which means nothing is being refrigerated properly at that restaurant.
That's insane.
Remind
That's
us what
fucking crazy.
Kablip stands for. It's Chris Angel.
Breakfast, lunch, and pizza.
Right. The 3 meals.
Kablip.
Yeah. He's also making his own Italian ice now. And he seems to have cut out Mike Gambuzza, who used to be the mastermind iceologist. He's not on the website anymore.
Oh man.
And now Chris is having a commercial for his own Italian ice, which he says has a magic trick in every single one, a QR code at the bottom. But then when you click where to buy, it says coming soon. So you can't buy it anywhere. And he made a whole commercial for it. I don't know what he's doing.
What I don't understand is that I think this is the original sin of Kablip is that opening at what, a 45-minute drive outside of Vegas?
Hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes.
The map on the website is a lie.
And that's just like kind of because that's where he lives, right?
No.
It's not?
No. He doesn't live there.
It's just cheaper.
It's just out. I think I have theories about why it's that far out. Just, you guys remember that car wash in Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, that's it. But it's so hard to get to. One time I had
Yeah.
to take a cab there and it cost $300.
Jesus Christ.
$300
And I had
to
to,
go to Kablip.
and I had to give the guy cash up front to prove that I had it.
Oh my God.
or else he would not take me from the Strip to Kablip.
But I mean, the thing is, like, you go around the Strip, or even just like a little bit out off Strip. Like, there's so many like vacant, storefronts where it, like, if you had a Chris Angel themed restaurant in Vegas proper, he's enough of a draw, enough of a name where people would be like, oh yeah, let's go check out the Chris Angel restaurant just for the novelty of it.
No.
Instead, it's this thing where you have to make this exodus to get there.
He bought and took over the only restaurant in town, which was called Sugar's. This is in Overton, Nevada.
Yeah.
And infuriated the locals by making it into a Chris Angel themed restaurant. And when you're there, the woman who works there was like, we just keep telling people like Sugar's is not coming back. So stop asking.
Some like 70-year-old man who's lived there his whole life and would go there for like a stack of flapjacks and a cup of coffee.
And now
it's one of his only joys.
Now you have to go
Kablip.
You have to go look at like photos of Chris Angel on all the walls, and there's like a weird, creepy animatronic hanging from the ceiling of one room where he's in a straitjacket and his eyes are shifting back and forth.
Oh my God. People have no shame. We've talked about this, but it is fun. Like it must be losing. That place must be losing.
Well, he's selling the refrigerators.
Yeah.
So he does. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that was my update. My dispatch from Vegas.
But I do love that. This is the kind of thing though. Like I find that so much more interesting than like being in an ad for a phone. Which Chris Angel could also do, and maybe he will do at some point. Because it's just like, oh, that's just old school eccentric celebrity crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like there's no reason for you to have this money losing restaurant in this remote part of Nevada. Like this is a completely dumb thing, act of pure self-indulgent hubris, which is kind of fun in a sense.
Or a way to launder charity money.
Yeah, it could be that too.
But allegedly.
Allegedly.
People are just always trying to cash out, whatever, they cash in. It's a sad thing. But anyways, the Doughboys 10-year anniversary shirt is now available.
That's right. Check it out, kinshipgoods.com.
We do have a 10-year shirt that is available.
It's a burger and a spoon. It's a nice little design.
It makes a 10. It's a great design. Thank you, Kinship.
Yeah.
I just was but also I just want to quickly say Carlos Mencia seems the best of all of all the men, all the people of that time. Joe Rogan, Louis C.K. and Dane Cook. Dane Cook was the one who stole, I guess, from Louis C.K. But Carlos Mencia seems like the best man of the bunch.
Man, I don't know if I want to go out. Why bother? Why bother trying to litigate this?
It's a good point. I don't know what Carlos Mencia has done. So
Didn't you on the podcast defend Jared Fogle before he got in trouble?
No, I hated Jared Fogle.
You're thinking of me, and after. Mitch actually weirdly said Jared Fogle's a weird guy, and maybe even called him a pedophile. A weird bit of soothsaying before the allegations surfaced.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knew too much information.
I did not see him on the same boards or anything like that. There was nothing going on there.
You were going to his Indiana University dorm room to rent porno.
You're hiding in the big pants.
Yeah.
I've never seen the pants. I've never seen the pants at all.
You know that he had rented. He had his own porno collection that he rented out of his dorm room.
Oh, of course I know about this.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like dudes would come to him to get good porn from Jared. He was a fucking freak. He was a little fucking freak that lazily ate Subway for his only meal. And I was like, hey, I'm losing weight from doing this. He sucks. I hate Jared. His biggest sin is being a fat guy sellout.
Wait, we're talking about while we're on your travel log.
Yeah.
You were telling us you recently had an encounter with the aforementioned Drop King in the wild.
So fucking weird. So the immersive show that you guys came to in LA called Shape of the Night, we had a run. Thank you. We had a run in Seattle at this place called the steam plant, which is like a decommissioned power plant from 1902. And it was really cool. It was they let us take over the entire building, and it was 3 stories of just industrial spaces. But
sounds like a Sonic level steam plant zone.
It did feel like a video game.
Wow.
Like you're in like a CDI.
Yeah.
Philips Magnavox CD-ROM game or something. The way it was all lit. But anyway, I created this new character who is the keeper of the history of the plant, and he was kind of like a foreman, and he played with this actor MJ Sieber, who's awesome. But anyway, he wanted a pocket watch, and I was up there for the weekend helping get the show together before I had to come back and do the job here. And so I was like, I'll go find you a pocket watch. And someone suggested this antique mall in another part of Seattle. So I took like a Uber out to this antique mall, and I was like looking for it on the street, and then just like someone screamed my name out of a car, and it was DK just on the street.
DK.
And he's like, I'm the Drop King. And I was like, oh my God. And then he had fish in the back of his car.
Wow.
Who I never
fish.
met. So I got to meet, I just was like, hey guys, this is very strange. And that was it. They're like, bye.
We had Emma and I had a moment the other day where we finished an episode and we walked outside and DK was just in the parking lot of Headgum. And we're like, DK, what the hell? He's like, I didn't know you guys were recording today. So he pulled up. DK, is everything okay? Between the drop and all of this information, we're nervous about you. We love you, DK. Thank you for being a part of that 500 years and still being a part of it.
500 years. Jesus Christ, Mitch.
It feels like 500 years. No, we've lost 10 years
500 years
of our lives.
Imagine
not
though-
500.
Imagine though if like we find the singularity at some point in our lifespans, and this self-replicating AI or whatever the fuck like figures out how to iterate and figures out how to make us like live for centuries.
The
Like imagine that
basilisk.
happens. Yeah. Like what we could conceivably be doing this podcast for 500 years if it continues to be a source of income.
I just feel like we'll be so confused. We walked in here.
But isn't that a thing of just like, oh man, wow, you could live for centuries, and then you're just like, wait, but I just have a job? You just gonna keep having a fucking job?
Yeah, it would suck.
This is
Sounds
like
like purgatory.
Yeah, exactly. This just never ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess death is some sort of nice release. I
Yes,
guess.
yeah.
Although there would be the new video game systems you could keep getting. It seems nice.
Wow, that's a great point. I didn't think about that. How far video games have advanced even in our lifetime.
But maybe in heaven or what? Maybe there's an afterlife. Maybe you can get any console in heaven. I guess.
What if in heaven you're locked into whatever the last console was? When
Oh
you
my
died?
God.
Oh, boy.
That's so
That's
boring.
it.
And do they stop making games for it?
Yeah, they stopped making games, so you have an existing
And
library.
then God's like, "You think that's bad?" And he has a cup and ball. That's when God died. Is when the cup and ball was around.
God died in the Depression?
Yeah, I don't know. Wags, no matter what happens, if we celebrate 500 years, we came in here and everyone was clapping for us, and I thought they were doing an elaborate bit. I had no idea what was going
The entire
on.
office was clapping.
The
we
entire
walked into
office was
Headgum.
clapping.
Everyone, weirdly, people are here. They're all clapping.
Yes.
I didn't know. I thought it was a bit. I had no
Yes,
idea that it was about.
I
us
knew
having
what it
fun.
was.
I had no idea. I didn't get that it was 500.
We didn't talk about it at all at where we just were.
Yeah,
No, we didn't.
I did eventually. I was like, the 500th episode. Like I said that to them before I went in here. Wags did not address it. I think he came in here directly. Eva, I want to say you were traveling. I was also traveling, Wags. I was down to Bayou.
That's right.
I was down to Bayou, and I played it. I stayed at this great hotel. It was called the No Gators Inn. It was like the
that's
super
awesome.
nice hotel. And I was there, and I was about to go outside the hotel, and I see this guy standing there, this Irish gentleman,
Okay.
and he has a fiddle, and he's like, "Hey there, why don't you invite me into your hotel?" And I was like, "Wait a minute," and I was like, "I've seen Sinners." You know what I mean?
Right.
I've seen Sinners, and I know that like I look. I don't agree with its oral sex stance, Sinners, but it taught me a few things about inviting things in. I said, "You're a vampire. I'm not going to invite you." In the hotel."
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Do you have a clove of garlic?" And I said, "Well, actually, I do." And I did have a clove of garlic. And
Why?
he's like, "Just for snacking and stuff like that."
Sure.
And,
I believe that.
and he was like, "Well, here, I'll prove to you I'm not a vampire." He ate the whole clove of garlic, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Okay." And he came in, and
So that's enough for you to be like, all right, I can invite this guy. He's not fucking.
I can invite
Yeah,
this
sure.
guy in. And then he was like, and he had his fiddle, and he's like, "How about I make a little wager with you?" And I said, "Okay." And he said, "I'll make a little wager with you if I can play my fiddle so great, you love it so much, you suck me off." And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Well, if I don't play it up to your liking, I'll suck you off." And I said, "Okay, but that's fair."
Yeah.
So he plays this fiddle, and he's playing away, and it is fantastic. He does a great job. He's done.
Yeah.
And I say, "You know what? You're right. I was impressed. I'm going to suck you off."
Yeah.
So I get down.
You're on this guy.
I get down on my knees. I start sucking him off.
Yeah. Sure.
Between his legs, I see a tail. I see a tail between his legs.
Oh, wow.
And I say, "Wait a minute. The only thing Irish about you is that you're green." You're a gator. And you know what he said, Wags?
What's that?
He said, I ain't a gator. I'm a vampire. I said,
Yes, this is good. This is good.
Mike, zoom in on the gator's face here, please. Just zoom in on the gator. I'm a vampire. Some call me a vampta, a gator vampire. And now you're under my curse, and you can suck me off whenever you like.
Whenever you
Wait, so
Okay,
it's
so
you?
every curse-
Sorry, you can suck me off whenever I'd like.
okay.
And that's the end of my Bayou story, and I want to introduce this little gator head to the episode, Wags.
Wow.
Yeah, Jemmy liked it.
Yeah, so for our audio listeners, you remember a little baffled. Mitch has this is a piece of like a plastic spire attached to a gator jaw that animates open and closed as you pull a trigger.
Did you get
Very
that
fun.
in New Orleans?
I got it in New Orleans, and I
Cool.
did get it kind of for Fran's birthday, and I did. So I tried to come up with the gator story, which was very bad.
I liked it.
This was my unique character. Also, I gotta say, the story doesn't. I love this.
He was smooching the gator.
I truly love this. He loves it too. His face afterwards, he's loving it. Also, I gotta say, he's white.
He is white.
He is white.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Where did
So the green story part of the story doesn't even really make sense.
you picked this up at a novelty shop?
Yeah, and I was gonna ask Amelia to tape white teeth to it for like a vampire teeth, but then I thought that the story won't be funny anyways, and it's gonna be embarrassing. So
I didn't even think about him having a Dracula fangs on top of having gator teeth.
Yeah.
I guess they probably should have that.
He is an albino alligator, like the movie directed by Kevin Spacey.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my God.
So this is a Kevin Spacey reference. This toy.
Did
It
he
was
just
supposed to be our 500th guest, but
wait? How many? Was it just albino alligator in the Bobby Darin movie? Did he direct anything
Beyond the
else?
Sea.
I
Oh,
believe
beyond-
that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
look, it is fun
he's-
talking with
yeah.
his head.
He appeared in some short films. One where he plays a ventriloquist. Another one where he's a dentist for pirates, and a third one where he is an immigrant from Russia.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I've watched all of them.
Yeah, his only directorial credits are Albino Alligator 1996 and Beyond the Sea in 2004, where he plays Bobby Darin,
Yep.
who died, I think, at age 27,
But he plays.
but he's like 48 when he's acting in the movie.
Yeah, it's real funny.
Yeah.
And he's talked to a child version of himself too, where he's like, "Bobby, I'm you as a child," and they tap dance together.
A lot of fun.
He's coming back.
He'll be back.
He's back already. He never left.
Do you think Jemmy will care at all about this?
Kiss
Hi
it.
there, Jemmy.
Cute.
She is slightly scared by it, I will
She's
say.
probably unsure. She's
Sorry.
like, what the fuck? Is it talking? Is it moving? Is it alive?
It's a great question. Wags, what do you think? You like adding this to the background here, our gator friend? What are you doing?
Yeah, if we can find a spot for him, why not?
All
Add
right,
him to the
all
tableau.
right, so it's gonna we'll throw it away.
You can probably wedge the stick between the cushions on your chair, and his head will just like float there.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Wags, are you looking up Kevin Spacey facts? That's
Yeah,
what
I'm still
yes,
buried
okay,
in
that's what
Kevin
that's what I
Spacey's
thought.
IMDb. He has an upcoming film, apparently in post-production, that he directed, called Holy Guards. In a divided future, ancient Holy Guards and Stati Guards fight secretly for humanity. A woman discovers she's born to rival leaders at a Stati Guard, plans to attack Paris and unleash the Prime. So it sounds like a little sci-fi. Stars Kevin Spacey, Eric Roberts, and Dolph Lundgren. What a cast!
That's a great
Yeah,
cast.
for 1995.
That's my dream cast.
Yeah.
I want to get in a movie with those guys. How do we feel? It was Gampire. Look, I can't break down the bit.
Vampire.
Gampire?
Gampire was pretty good. I didn't know if I should. I just used both. Vampter or Gampire? What do you think is better?
Vampter. I'm trying to think. Is there some alligator?
Oh, like a Dracula.
Dracula gator or something like that?
Dracula-gator.
Dralligator.
Yeah, fuck. Whatever. Look, it's past. And
It's perfect.
it was perfect. Thank you, Eva. And you know what? Wags, this is today. we went to Chili's twice, Wags.
Vampino alligator.
Okay.
Crocodile?
Dracodile's pretty good,
Dracodile.
but it's not a crocodile, but it still kind of works.
Yeah, Dracodile is probably better.
Dracodile's pretty good.
Look, anyways, we don't have to break down the bid anymore. I fucked up.
Chocodiles? Do you ever have a chocodile?
Mhm.
Those are real good.
Those are
What
good.
were they? Were they ice cream or were they?
No, they were like basically a Twinkie that was chocolate covered.
Oh, right. Yes, I had.
And
I
they've
had
rebranded
those.
them as something else, but they used to be called chocodiles, and they were a lot of fun.
Oh, right. Maybe I had the version of those that was the later version.
Yeah.
That like after that. But Wags, we visited. This is such a big episode. We went twice for chill. What's going on?
Just
here?
there's not a lot of letters in common between vampire and alligator.
God, Jesus Christ, I know.
So it's kind of tricky to craft.
Yeah, so Gampire is fine.
Gampire's fine.
Wags, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site that I order from all the time where you can get the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants all across the U.S., and they will ship it to you free to your door anywhere in the country. Wow.
Mitch, you know I love Ina Garten and her husband, Jeffrey. I love their show. And Ina Garten has a coconut cake, which caught my eye, which we ordered, which we sampled, and was a delight.
That's right. We ordered some New York bagels. I was going to bring them into the office and share them with everybody, but I ate them myself.
Goldbelly will ship you iconic Chicago deep dish pizza from Lou Malnati's or New York's best, most famous cheesecake from Junior's. And if you are craving BBQ, they ship the legendary Franklin's barbecue straight from Texas to your door.
Wow. Do you know what else? Remember when I got some bar-style pizzas back in the day?
That's right.
That was from Goldbelly. I don't know if you remember that episode. We shared some bar pies with Wags, and then they were from Goldbelly.
And you have to try, Mitch, the one and only world-renowned stone crab delivered from Joe's in Miami. I've actually been to Joe's. I've eaten the stone crab. It is delightful. I would love to have the Goldbelly version. Whether it's a dish from that one-of-a-kind restaurant or meals from world-famous chefs like the aforementioned Ina Garten, Daniel Boulud, or Jose Andres, Goldbelly has you covered.
Wow, Wags, you know what? It's so easy to do. You order it online, it ships right to your door, and it comes in a box. If you got some cold food, they keep it nice and cold with some ice packs. Mine came perfect. It was like I bought it at the store that day, threw it in the freezer. I'm still enjoying some of those bagels. I still could give you a New York bagel if you want one, baby.
So if you are looking for that perfect gift or want to impress your friends and family with an epic meal next time you host, go to goldbelly.com and get free shipping and 20% off your first order with promo code Doughboys. That's goldbelly.com, code Doughboys for free shipping and 20% off your first order.
Do it.
Wow.
We went to the restaurant twice, Wags. It was such a big episode. We went twice.
That's right. We're returning to Chili's, which was founded in Dallas in 1975, the first chain reviewed on our very first episode. We also returned in 2019 with Eva to review the Airport Chili's 2 for our 200th episode. So that was a milestone 300 episodes ago.
Wow.
And in 2020, Mitch, during the pandemic, this was our other canonical Chili's review. We went with our buddy wrestler Joey Janela.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it had Chili's we're revisiting partly because it was our first episode, but partly because it had a recent resurgence on social media because of nostalgia and also value. Kind of the flashpoint for this was apparently TikToker Dylan MacArthur and started doing these triple dipper mukbangs that went viral. And then a bunch of other influencers started going to Chili's, making Chili's content. The Encino location, in fact, where we dined in at is where Chili's corporate social media shoots their own TikToks.
Oh.
So they make their content from the Encino one where we went to originally.
And so it's basically it's the mozzarella sticks that have gone viral, right?
It's the mozzarella sticks as part of the triple dipper, which is the appetizer sampler platter. But those in particular,
isn't it so much about the cheese pull though?
Yeah,
I
mean,
like?
I think the cheese pull is a big part of it. Yes.
So a mukbang of it's like a 3,500 calorie meal, right? If you just eat the appetizer, triple dipper, maybe more.
Yeah, if you're taking that whole motherfucker to the dome, yeah, for sure. That is a day's worth of caloric and change of caloric input.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who do you think the first cheese influencer was? There's Urkel as an option.
Urkel.
Urkel did like cheese.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse?
Mickey
yeah, that's
Mouse,
what I feel like you gotta go older than
Did
that.
Mickey Mouse love cheese? He must have loved cheese at some point.
I feel like Tom or Jerry, whichever one is Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, the mouse. Yeah.
He likes cheese. He's always like running with a wedge of it over his head.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mickey likes cheese.
But just by being a famous rat it's like,
Yeah.
hey, this
He's a mouse.
He's a
not
mouse.
a rat.
Yeah, what the
Whatever.
hell?
The fuck?
whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
Same thing.
He's very much a mouse.
Yeah, he's a mouse.
Yeah.
Cheese influencer.
But you have that association that he's going to like cheese.
Yeah.
I don't know.
guess-
It's a great question, Mitch, and it's a bit of a stumper.
Yeah. I wonder if it is. I wonder. I mean, Urkel was big, and I think some sort of like a mouse character. Like I think you might be right that it is just Jerry is the first
Jerry, cheese influencer.
cheese influencer.
I feel like there's some like his like character from like literature or something that was a famous like
Sure,
cheese.
Scrooge or
Yeah,
something. Was he eating?
Well, I don't know if it was Scrooge specifically, but that kind of like I feel like there was some sort of maybe gourmand or just
might have been
someone who was
Scrooge.
a cheese fan.
Yeah, who's someone who really likes
old.
cheese and like an old like does like a some boring ass Victorian guy.
Some Bridgerton fuck.
Yeah.
Like, who would that be?
I'm Googling. Did Scrooge like cheese?
Okay.
No, he likes
But-
goose. He likes roast goose.
Yeah, I think that's more. That's you know what that's what it is. It's like you think of like the old rich guy affectations. There were things like pheasant under glass or whatever.
But
you
like
know?
who likes to smell smelly cheese?
There are definitely characters like that. By the way,
Yeah.
Scrooge did like cheese.
He did. He liked
what on what authority are you?
When he sees Jacob
Google
Marley,
AI.
he says you may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese. So he does say cheese, though he is only saying he ate a crumb of cheese. So
What? How is that evidence that he liked
I mean,
cheese?
it
It says that he
seems like he
referenced
liked-
cheese in
seems
a
like he liked
sentence.
cheese.
I don't know. About
Oh, this is kind of crazy. Okay, AI overview. The first thing they say is Jerry.
Wow.
Wow.
It's Jerry.
But this is a good one, and this is what I was thinking of. Wallace.
that. Oh, Wallace from Wallace
wow.
and Gromit,
I
of
think
course.
it's like there's a British guy that really likes cheese.
That's the answer
That's
because
the
he's
answer.
so cheese focused.
Yes, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
for
he
sure.
likes cheese more than Gromit.
Yeah, that's good.
Chili's has there's a bunch of pieces about how Chili's made a comeback. There's a a lot of this. Kevin Hochman, the CEO of Chili's parent company Brinker International, is kind of like focused in their strategy a little bit more on following these social media trends, but also or capitalizing rather on their social media cachet, and then also leaning into value. For instance, the Chili's 3 for Me meal, which is what I got today at the Monrovia location we went to for lunch, is the same price range as a fast food combo, and they've done a lot of marketing about that.
He seems to get it, that guy.
He seems to get it. From a 2024 CNBC piece about this, quote, same-store sales, a key metric in the restaurant industry, jumped 14.8% in its fiscal fourth quarter. So it is on a bit of an upswing. And we went twice, like you were saying, Mitch. We went to the Encino location for dinner nearly 2 months ago. April 14th, when we were originally going to record this episode. We're now recording on June 12th. We had to shuffle some things around. So as such, instead of just operating on that memory, but we will talk about it, we also went again for lunch to the Monrovia location. So both of these kind of in LA exurbs, a little bit removed from the city limits, because there is not a Chili's in LA proper, unfortunately. And I feel like this is a thing I would like to say. There should be like a Chili's in Times Square. Why not? There should be like a Chili's on Hollywood Boulevard. Like have some Chili's in big touristy areas now, because this is becoming a thing again.
Especially because it's gotten kind of good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And especially that Tarzana location, really it's like it felt like a cool, we talked about it, like it felt like a cool gastropub from 10 years ago.
100%.
But
Yes.
it had nice vibes. It was packed with families and just people after like work getting a drink.
Pretty
Just-
packed for a weekday lunch today as well, I would say.
Yeah, like both times it was like, I don't know.
Today was, I was shocked by how packed it was when we walked in the door there. It was not a full house, but it was popping.
There were a lot of people, and it swelled even more during the time we were dining there.
And it's the same one we went to 10 years ago. At the time, I think 10 years ago, it's kind of gross.
They've upgraded it a bit.
Yeah.
No, they've redone the interior. Except there is one fixture that at the time we thought was like a harbinger of sorrow. They had the Ziosk tablets, the pay stations that are on each table. I was like, man, this is a bummer. And they've somehow survived.
The
And
Ziosks are bad. I mean, they're thriving.
they've never gone away. But the thing is, like, they're basically just for one function now. They're just there for you to pay at the end of your meal, which I kind of don't even understand. But maybe it was just sort of like,
well, we
like
were
a
sitting
point
there
of,
like dummies waiting for us to. We were waiting to check out, and we didn't realize we could just check out on the.
You could just check out on the Ziosk, but other than that, you're dealing with human servers like as much as you ever were, as much as you would be at any restaurant. But it seemed like back when we went originally, back in 2015, they were trying to direct us to order on the Ziosk because they were trying to hopefully go in that. They were I guess aiming to go in that direction.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of
Me neither.
service where you order everything and pay on your phone, and then they just like someone silently drops your food to you. I don't like that.
There's
either.
a chain of sports bars in LA, 33 Taps. There's one a stone's throw from Headgum. And that's their whole thing is scan on a QR code, order on your phone. You never talk to a server, and then someone brings it to you. Now it's a bar, so we can kind of understand that that's like a more efficient way to do it. But it is, I don't know. To me, it takes away some of the fun of going out.
Yeah, it's impersonal, and it also just takes away like the potential for those people to make a tip because they're talking to you and creating a relationship with you. It's just like a lot of it. It takes away like some of the more fun parts of working food service, like. In my experience, pulling a chair out from under a woman while she's sitting down and she falls on the floor. That's from the CPK episode. She's holding a baby and she falls on the floor. And then your boss lies to her and defends you. And then he gets fired and then you quit.
Oh my God! He didn't get fired because of that, did he?
No, he got fired for showing up drunk.
Oh, right.
Smoking a cigarette.
Was there? I'm trying to remember because you told us some CPK tales, and again, thank you for your service. But like, was there? Am I misremembering that there was a guy jacking off there?
No, it was the waitress. It was the hostess that when she quit.
Yeah,
I found out, even though I've been standing next to her the whole time, that her entire purse was full of like tiny lubes, and she would offer to jack every single person off.
What?
I talked about this on the podcast.
But staff, I
all the busboys and all the kitchen staff, and she'd be like, and she never mentioned it to me, but she told every single other person in the restaurant about it, and they were like all sick of hearing about it. And I was like, what? And she just was like silent, would stare at me and then like stare at the wall. And I was like,
God!
And then I got offended that she wouldn't tell me about it, but they called her the handjob hostess.
How many? I'd forgotten the depraved details of this, but like how many? Do we have a count of how many workers there said yes to this arrangement?
I don't know.
Or we're right because I feel like that's also a thing where someone could just be offering that and everyone just saying no because like this person's insane.
Based on restaurant kitchens that I've worked in, I'm gonna guess most of them said yes.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, why not? Who cares? They go down to the parking garage, do it, then they go back to work.
I'm filling out an application online for CPK. The Cyclops from Homer's Odyssey liked cheese.
Interesting.
The Cyclops liked cheese. That's what it said. Also, I put in. I was writing is Scrooge, and then it autofilled to is Scrooge McDuck dead? I don't know why it's. I don't know why. Is there?
Is he canonically dead? Did they kill him in something?
There are DuckTales comics.
Does he die in the last DuckTales?
He maybe dies in the last DuckTales, but that came up there too. That is. I mean, that's an.
Wait, will you autofill that and hit search?
Sure. Yep. We got to find out if Scrooge McDuck is dead. Is Scrooge McDuck? Okay, so now a lot of things are coming up.
Okay.
Is Scrooge McDuck immortal?
What's happening? Pick a lane, guys.
Is Scrooge McDuck Scottish? All right, you fucking idiot. All right, here
Scrooge McDuck gay. Is Scrooge McDuck a Zionist?
Is he my dad?
Yeah.
Oh, according to Don Rosa's unofficial timeline, Scrooge McDuck died at the age of 100 years after a life of adventure. So Scrooge McDuck, canonically, I guess, is dead.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Poor Scrooge.
Okay.
A good life. Rest in peace, Scrooge.
So that means Huey, Dewey, and Louie like age, like they became adults at a certain point.
I guess so.
In this
yeah, they're probably dead too. I guess.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
If he's 100, yeah.
Maybe Huey, Dewey, and Louie died over the course of the 10 years of Doughboys. Who knows?
Well, he is their great uncle, though, right?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie dead?
They're ducks. I don't think ducks live super long, right?
It's really sad to think about the last surviving triplet going to like his brother's graves.
What the fuck? How? What? Oh, Huey,
like,
Dewey, and Louie.
Dewey is like
I just thought that
Huey
came
and
out of
Louie
nowhere.
are
AI
fucking dead and
AI
Dewey's there
overview.
grieving?
No, Huey, Dewey, and Louie Duck are not dead.
Okay.
They are fictional characters
I just read.
created by Disney and continue to be featured in various Disney media. While their parents are not mentioned in the story, they are alive. Like, the parents are alive.
Okay, so Scrooge's
Yeah.
niece and nephew, I guess, are alive.
They are not orphans.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, being your last triplet to die, Wags, is sad. I guess you could say.
Got to be one of them. So we went to the Encino location. We went for dinner. I got a watermelon lemonade. Mitch, I think you got the Patron strawberry margarita. Is that correct?
I did.
And
Yeah,
you
I got
a-
frozen.
You got a skinny marg.
Yeah.
And we also were charged for a Zeos Game Pass, which we'll get into.
We were?
Yes,
Wait,
that was on the
today?
receipt. No, not today. But that is a whole other thing, Mitch, which
That
we will
almost
also get
happened.
into. We will get into that too. The
How much is a Zeos Game Pass?
I think it's like $1.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think
Wait,
it's
what?
it costs money to play games on the Ziosk, I guess.
And you
Did we play a game?
did today.
I
You picked the most curious cat.
I will just
This- all right,
let's
hold on a
just
second.
say it. Hold
This
on.
is insane. This
So
is all insane.
So you pay the Ziosk is like a tablet that is on a stand that is on each table at Chili's. If you've been to a Chili's, you've seen this.
Mhm.
We asked to pay today. The server was like, "Oh yeah, you can close out on the Ziosk. Go ahead and hand me that." It's by Mitch. Mitch grabs it, and as he's going to hand it to the server,
There's a trivia question.
he starts playing the cat quiz on the Ziosk. And then the guy's like, "Oh, I gotta exit out of this. Sorry, like because you're gonna get charged for a game pass." It was
Yeah.
like a whole thing.
He tried to save me quickly, and I'll tell you what the question was. It says calico cats are known for being, and it said like all male something, and then lucky, and I pressed lucky. Which is clearly not right. And that guy was like quickly like, "Oh,
sir."
but that's to me that is insane if you just push the screen and it charges you to play the fucking game without
I guess
being like,
so. Yeah.
How many kids have accidentally
Yeah.
like charged their parents for games that like they had no idea?
That's fucking
That's
crazy.
wild.
My guess is this is the kind of thing that corporate put in that is just like a massive inconvenience for people working there because, yeah, kids are always doing it and then parents are complaining about it and then the managers are having to come over and go through some rigmarole to take it off.
I
their
gotta tell
bill.
you, first of all, the first time I went to Chili's was a while back now, and I don't remember too much from the dinner.
I have the full list, so we can go through it real
But
quick.
in my mind, we didn't bring up this game thing, did we? Like that didn't come up
No.
afterwards.
I don't think I played any games.
I don't remember doing anything in the Ziosk
It
beyond
seems to me, it seems illegal. I gotta take this fucking hat off.
you bailing on the hat.
I gotta bail. It's just hurting my head.
The string really
The string
digs
is
in.
hurting.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep pulling it.
I'm gonna bail at a certain point.
The just pushing, seeing a thing and then pushing it and getting charged. It seems illegal. It seems insane to me. Whatever. It just seems it seems insane to
defeat
me.
it. Whatever.
You tried to balance the hat on top of your Celtics hat
and it didn't.
sand
it
string
didn't
for
work.
a second. Immediately fell off.
Immediately fell off.
All right, let me go through the list of what we got from Encino. We got a triple dipper. We got the boneless wings with buffalo. We got the Nashville hot mozzarella sticks. We got the Southwestern egg rolls as our triple dipper. We also got the dip trio, which is a different Triforce of apps, which is a corn tostada tortilla chips with skillet beef queso, white queso, fresh salsa, fresh guacamole, or house-made ranch. You get 3 of those 5. We went with the salsa, the guac, and the white queso, which I believe is a server rack. I got the quesadilla explosion salad. Mitch, you got the bacon rancher.
Stupidest name for food.
This is the thing. I love the name of the quesadilla explosion salad, so I can't not order it.
So funny.
Mitch, you got the bacon rancher burger. And Eva, you got the Santa Fe salad, and then we all shared a skillet chocolate chip cookie. What I can say, as Mitch keeps kissing the vampire gator,
I'm
with
gonna
the
give him
birthday hat on
500
it.
kisses before the episode ends.
I did have a great time at this meal. I
me
did.
too.
That was
We had
a
a
lot of fun.
blast.
And I also will say, of the 2 sauced mozzarella sticks, the Nashville hot are the way to go. We got the other option today with our triple dipper. You could also just say putting any sauce on the mozzarella sticks is ungapachka. You don't need it. It's fine just to take them and dip them in marinara or ranch or whatever the fuck. But I do kind of like the concept of putting it on Nashville hot sauce.
It is also notable that each one is 500 calories.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
is insane.
Insane.
Yeah, it's just so gross that's how bad those are for you.
Each stick, you mean?
Each
Each
stick
stick.
is 500 calories. I also feel so salty. I feel very salty after this meal. A thing that I noticed from both restaurants is that the food came out very fast at both restaurants.
Mhm.
And then a thing I didn't notice at one restaurant, and I noticed today, was that the door handle was a chili.
Yes.
Which I think it is. Is it at the other restaurant or no?
I think so. I think that's the standard Chili's feature.
And I also just want to say that I was like, the door handle's a chili, and Wags went, it's cold? You thought I meant that the handle itself was cold.
Like you just an old man be like, the handle's cold.
Here's the thing. I understood that it was a chili. I thought you were saying that it was chili, like it also like it felt chili.
Sure.
So
An
that's what you
insane
were
thing
saying.
for me to say to you. But then Eva noticed it too. So it really stuck out for whatever
It's
reason.
cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Our table was a little wobbly when we got there.
Wait, we're skipping ahead to any thoughts on Encino?
Oh shit, no, Encino.
I enjoyed my meal. Did
Yeah, I
you
had a
get
good time.
dessert?
We did. We got the skillet chocolate chip cookie,
We
which
didn't
is
like
topped with
it.
vanilla ice cream and hot fudge. Yeah, I mean it's their attempt at a pizookie at the BJ's dessert, the signature dessert, and it's just it's not on the same level, but it was
Yeah.
still all right.
I
was fun.
loved the apps and the chips and dips. This is everything I wrote down. We got chips and dips, and the chips and dips were good, and the apps were good.
Yes, that is the dip trio.
Wags, my burger was unga pachka.
Bacon rancher burger, 2 beef patties, 6 slices of bacon, house-made ranch, American cheese, sautéed onions, and pickles.
No real sauce and kind of a grease bomb, but the quality was good. I didn't know what to get, and the waitress suggested 2 burgers to me, and I felt like I should get one, but I regret it, but still good. And then I wrote, the cookie was oily. That's what we all said about the cookie. It was oily. And then I had a giant chocolate stain on my sleeve when I got home that Emma accused me of being shit in the group chat. That's all I remember from the rest of the day.
Sounds about right.
But I think we had a positive. I think we all had a nice, fun. It was a good celebration of 500 episodes.
It was really
Lot of
nice.
fun.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Are we all bailed on the hats? We're bailing on the hat. I'll take my hat off.
It just hurts after a while.
It does hurt.
Emma and Casey have kept it on.
Amelia's still on too.
Oh, Amelia's. I didn't see it. There it is.
It's sliding.
Mine's
Uh,
attached to the headphones, so.
Oh, it's not on
it
your
would be a pain in the ass to
Yeah.
take off. All right, so Casey's keeping it on, but he's pissed off. And Amelia, I think you're. It seems fine.
I'm happy about it.
I think you might have the smallest head, not to give you a complex, but I think you have the smallest head of everyone, which is a good
You say
thing.
not to give you a compliment. And I was like,
I put mine on Wally.
Oh, that's cute. No, it's covering him. Oh, it's fun. It's cute.
It's
I
great.
thought about putting one on Jemmy earlier, but she'll hate it.
Dogs don't like those.
Yeah.
It
turns out.
The quesadilla explosion salad is basically like a kind of generic Southwest salad with citrus balsamic, but then it's the titular explosion is a quesadilla, basically as a garnish on the outside. So you're basically getting a quesadilla with a full size salad. And I don't know. I've gotten this one a number of times when I go to Chili's. I just kind of like it because I'm eating a salad, but I'm also eating a quesadilla. And I get to say quesadilla explosion, which is a lot of fun.
I think it's a great order.
It's a great order. I almost got it today, but then I looked at the calories on it, and it is close to the sandwich I got, so I just decided not to get it.
You're eating a fucking quesadilla with
Yeah.
a salad. It's
Yeah.
like you're not saving any calories.
Is this a cheese quesadilla or is it a chicken?
It's a cheese quesadilla,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you do get a protein with the salad, so you can,
that's fun.
add chicken or whatever. And even any memories of your Santa Fe salad?
It just was what you got without the quesadilla.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring, but it was
Yeah.
fine. There was so much going on with the appetizers. I wanted to try those.
I mean, that's a big part of the reason you go to one of these places. It's interesting what you're saying about salty, Mitch, because I feel like that is a commonality with a lot of these sit-down chains, these bigger sit-down chains, is food that's very salty but isn't very seasoned, if that that distinction makes sense.
Yes.
You know?
Well, there was a very unseasoned meal today.
I had a very much similar. I have an observation about that for today.
So we went to the Monrovia location. We got a next to Arcadia, California, which is where my grandparents on my mom's side lived for many years.
Oh.
I'm familiar with the Monrovia, Arcadia, and there's another city there that I'm familiar with those that sort of area. The Skinny Marg, Eva, you got Mitch, you got a strawberry lemonade, and I got the Arnold Palmer with mango. So you can get a mango lemonade with your iced tea. Here's what I'll say. Just way too sweet.
Oh, really?
Like this was one where I really could have used the Nick Weiger, the perfected ratio, where it was a bit more iced tea, a bit less of the lemonade mixer. And I
should have
like
followed Mango himself's advice to not touch the mango.
the novelty of having a mango iced tea or I'm sorry, a mango lemonade in an Arnold Palmer, like I couldn't resist that. But I think it was just like a little too cloyingly sweet.
The strawberry lemonade was kind of bad, surprisingly.
Oh, what a bummer.
Because I love their strawberry margarita, but it was just like it's kind of cheap tasting strawberry lemonade for you think it would have like chunks of strawberry and it would be like a more naturally if you told me that was from like a soda fountain strawberry lemonade, I would believe it. It was kind of a bummer.
Skinny margarita both times was nicely minimalist.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough drink to mess up.
Yeah, sure.
It is also like this is the other thing when you're looking at the calories on this entire menu, which they show for everything. The skinny margarita is like, okay, I can drink that, and it's not like a 400 calorie drink, which there's so many.
It's like 150, 100 calories.
Yeah, which is not bad for Chili's.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing that they did that. However many years was that part of the ACA putting calories on menus
for chains.
For chains. Like that, so that's been around for over 10 years at this point, 15 years. That's just been policy, and it doesn't seem to have done anything for the obesity epidemic. Because I don't think like there's just something of just seeing the number in a vacuum. Maybe it doesn't like guide people's decisions really, or you're just sort of like, well, whatever, in for a penny, in for a pound. Maybe there's even an effect of, hey, it's 800 calories for this sandwich, it's 950 calories for this burger. Fuck it, I'll just get the burger. What's another 150 calories? I wonder if it's almost counterproductive.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Do you say don't show them?
I just don't know. I don't know if it has. Yeah. It certainly doesn't seem to be having any sort of positive effect.
No, it definitely get in my head.
Yeah,
and freak me out.
I mean, thinking about the mozzarella sticks being 500 calories each makes me not want to eat a whole one, I guess. So that is...
Yeah, eating a half one, and they still destroy my digestive system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just even 3 tiny bites.
Yeah.
100%.
Just ruined.
Yeah.
I want to bring up something from the first episode.
Okay.
On the first episode, Wags, you, with your original rating, you said the food made us feel sick. And we deducted a full fork score off of it for that reason.
Wow.
Which is like Simpsons season 1 shit. You took a full fork score off for making us feel ill after eating there.
So funny.
Yeah. That just went away.
Was it 4 forks? Was it like a 4-fork restaurant?
I think it went out of 4 forks because it made you feel full afterwards, which just does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything makes us sick, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. Truly, it doesn't matter.
Unless you give one of us food poisoning, like Taco John's did to Emma. Like it's just like whatever. That's just part of the ball game. You're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel like shit.
Yeah, yeah. That will not affect our fork score today. Though I do feel very. So I feel like my hands and feet are bigger than they were when we started the day. What is that? When like you're like a salt, right? Doesn't it like make your extremities inflate or whatever?
Edema.
You're
filling your body with more water.
I'm feeling, yeah. I can feel. Could you not feel that today or no?
Adding water to your insides.
My buffalo chicken. I'm
not really feeling it.
There was 2 things that were super salty to me.
Yeah.
One was the cheese. The cheese stick was super salty. I thought. And the sauce, it was like so salty to me.
Second one was kind of the honey chipotle fried mozzarella sticks were kind of a
dud.
So okay, yeah, let me go through the menu real quick. So we got the triple dipper. The triple dipper was the burger bite triple, which is they're basically sliders. And the sliders are really minimalist. They're just a beef, cheese, and like a grilled onion. It's kind of like a White Castle.
Can I say
an upscale White Castle?
They kind of suck.
You didn't like them? I thought they were all
just
right.
Like nothing. They're like they're so nothing to me.
I didn't mind them.
I think they need a pickle. I think they need some sort of crunch.
Yeah.
Pickle would have plussed them up a little
some
bit.
Acid.
Yeah.
We got the mozzarella sticks, which were honey chipotle. This is the kind of thing of like the triple dipper, a mild frustration of it. You only get 2 of the sliders. Even though it's called the Burger Bite Triple, I guess. Or I guess it's the Burger Bite Triple because it's a triple dipper portion, which is a smaller portion than the normal Burger Bite. So you only get 2. The mozzarella honey chipotle sticks, we only get 2 of those. And again, we're a party of 3. And then the country crispers, which were like chicken strips, tendies, we did get 3 of those. So we each got to have our own. We got some house barbecue. We got a chipotle honey and a Nashville hot sauce. Where are you on Nashville hot in general? I know it's kind of played out.
Oh, I had not even really tried it till I went to Nashville last year.
Wow.
So I was a little scared it would be too hot.
Yeah.
Then I started low, and then I ate Nashville hot chicken like 8 times.
Wow.
And I got hotter each time. And at the end, I was like, I love it. But I have not had it since coming back.
Yeah, I do like Nashville hot as an approach. I do feel like it's kind of, now that it's just like at every chain,
Yeah.
it's not
Sure.
really like what it once was. It's kind of lost some of that esteem. But
It's so delicious.
it
though.
is, you get like a proper Nashville hot. It's delightful.
Yeah.
Any predictions about the new sauce will be? You think there'll be a new?
Well, I mean, hot honey is like
Mhm.
is the one
I
of
know.
the moment,
So
and that's so it's so played out. The next sauce, what's coming after that? I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing like a spicy Caesar around a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Spicy Caesar is good.
Yeah,
I like that.
there's
Spicy
like-
Caesar's real
There's
good.
a lot of places that make the like Caesar chicken wraps. They'll do like a Calabrian chili
Yeah.
Caesar,
Oh right, yeah.
and so it's zippy. It's a little red. I think
Yeah.
spicy Caesar's the next sauce.
That's a great call.
I wonder if we might see like a gochujang or something like that, like just like one of those sauces, kind of.
Gochujang mayo.
Yeah,
something like that.
like I think in the same sort of way we saw that happen with sriracha a few years back. I don't know. I could also see I feel like there was a moment where it would seem like everything seasoning was going to become,
Sure.
everywhere, and then it never really passed the like it's kind of a novelty. I could see that finally reaching critical mass where we're seeing more. We're seeing like KFC as in like an everything seasoned a chicken strip or something.
Like they have lemon pepper. That
Yeah,
sounds like
exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know.
I think my prediction is ketchup's gonna have a bit. It's gonna come back around. Ketchup is gonna have people are gonna
A
be
ketchup
excited.
renaissance.
A
would be
ketchup
interesting.
renaissance. What do you think of that?
Come back to ketchup.
What about curry ketchup?
Curry ketchup is
Curry
something,
ketchup is
yeah.
fun.
I like
I like
that.
it.
That is
That's pretty
like a
good.
sauce that exists
Mm-hmm.
that people like. Is that big in the UK?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so
I feel
good.
like that's like a good one to take off in America. Curry ketchup.
Ask AI what the next big sauce is.
All right, I'll ask AI.
Okay, great.
And is it dead?
Is it-
All right, hold on. I'm asking.
Okay, great.
I'm asking AI. I wonder how much water we'll waste by asking this
I
question.
know. What are we doing?
What's
You can't do that.
next big
Sauce.
sauce? I also don't
Jim-
use
Jim is
AI.
napping. It's very cute.
Let's see here. All right, there's an answer coming.
Yeah.
Predicting the next big sauce involves looking at current culinary trends, consumer preferences,
Okay.
innovations. Okay, so they give some ideas. Spicy sauce. This sucks. I hate AI.
Spicy sauce?
I didn't realize that it was gonna. I should have realized the hyper regional global sauces.
Are you using the Google AI overview?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the gold standard.
It just did this
Carrot-based hot sauces. That's
carrot-based hot sauce.
Spicy is sweet and spicy. I see. I have never heard spicy before.
Oh, so it is just a term.
It says fruit. It said when I googled it, it says the AI overview says the next big sauce trend is likely to be a fruit and spice pairings, building on the popular spicy sweet spicy. trend.
So that hot honey is a spicy sauce, but why?
Yeah, true.
Yuzu sauce is the
Oh,
yuzu
yuzu.
infused.
That's a
Yeah,
fun one. I
yeah,
could
yeah,
see
yeah,
yuzu
yeah.
kind of making some inroads. It's to watch because I've watched the full course of Google like over my lifetime. Like I remember when like we were using Alta Vista and Yahoo, those were the search engines of choice. And then Google comes with things like, wow, this is such a better search engine. What a superior product. I can't believe how much easier it is to browse the internet thanks to Google search.
Yeah.
Well, what a cool novelty. And then to watch it slowly erode. Like it becomes
Yeah.
ubiquitous and then it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. The information is less and less reliable. To now we have an AI overview, which is just straight up wrong. It just gives
Yes.
you like false information.
This
So
just
now we just seen the service become useless over the course of its internet life.
In the 10 years we've done Doughboys, the world has gotten worse.
everything
Everything
has gotten worse and more annoying.
Yes.
This just happened
Including
on
us.
the show I was just working on. Nick Offerman was on the show that I was just working on.
Love
this
that
Apple
guy.
show. He's awesome. But it's also a David E. Kelly show.
Yeah.
And so we were on set and he was like, I was on an episode of The Practice when I was in my 20s or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. Do you remember what episode? He's like, I'm not sure. So I Googled Nick Offerman, The Practice, and the AI overview said Nick Offerman was never on The Practice. And I showed it to him and I was like, sorry. And then he was like, I was. And I was like, no, you weren't. But that happened like live. I was like, that's great.
God. And people and like government officials are making decisions based off of that.
Anyways, that's
Fucking
funny.
horrible. True toilet earth. Guar was right.
Earth.
Okay, so the triple dipper, we got I don't think the mozzarella honey chipotle worked. I don't think the sweet and the cheese makes any sort of
No.
sense. I thought it was kind of putrid. The
Gross.
country crispers were fine.
By the way, can I just quickly
Fine
just
tendies.
give a follow up?
Yeah.
Sauces can't die because they aren't living organisms.
Cool.
They're food products made from ingredients like tomatoes, herbs, or cream. It goes on about
The
that.
humorless basilisk.
They can go bad, but that's not dying. It's just decomposition. I've confused the AI, basically. It wants me to clarify.
Let's be Zizians. Do you know about the Zizians?
Tell me.
They hate AI and they murder people. They're a death cult, but they're an anti-AI
Oh,
death cult
interesting.
in the Bay Area.
This is a new movement.
Yeah, they stabbed a guy with a katana.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Google the Zizians. You'll never stop reading about them.
The Zizians.
The Zizians. Because I know the Luddites from back in the day.
No, the Zizians are current. Like a lot of their ideology comes from the show Steven Universe.
Great.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yes. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we Zizians by the time we end the show?
They post StarCraft memes and they talk about Steven Universe and they kill people.
I've never seen Steven Universe, but some of that seems fun.
They mostly are on Tumblr.
Wow.
They're Tumblr-based death cult.
I didn't know Tumblr was still going.
I don't know. I guess so. For death cult purposes.
Maybe if you're organizing some sort of fringe, murderous movement, it's maybe easier on a platform with less eyeballs.
But they're really scared of this concept, which is a short story called Rocco's Basilisk.
Okay.
Which is an idea that if there's an AI one day that's so powerful, that's immortal and all powerful, that it would maybe torture anyone who tried to stop it from coming into existence or who didn't help it come into existence and go back in time and torture them. And then just by hearing about it, now you're part of that. So now it can torture you if you don't help it come into existence because I told you about
you
it.
just doomed us?
I doomed you.
And it's on the recording.
And these people got so scared of that idea that they killed people.
Jesus Christ. Well, they sound like idiots. I don't use AI. I just use that for that bit right there to just use the Google AI. Oh God, I'm in trouble. I fucked up.
I
What do you care?
I just infected all your listeners with the
everyone now has
basilisk.
to.
Now they all know about it, and now they have to help the AI or be tortured for all eternity.
I've used AI honestly, I can put it on under. I can count under 10 times the times I've
Meaning
used
the
it.
3 times you did it
Just now.
Just now.
just now puts it close to 10.
But does that even
And
count?
then I made Tina Fago. So she looks like Insane Clown Posse. That's one I did. And
pretty good.
And then I used it like one other time. I've never used it.
Does it even count though? Like, because you can't. Can you even opt out of it on Google? Like, if you just type anything into Google, the first thing you get is AI overview.
Maybe you can.
Maybe there's a
opt out of
flag
it.
you
Yeah,
can put in. Maybe some search operator to say no AI or whatever. But
yeah.
Like, I don't know. Does that count as using AI in the same way that I don't think so.
We're fucked. Anyways, we should be. Let's get back to the good
doesn't
stuff.
matter.
Chili's was okay.
Okay, so I think I think the triple dipper kind of underwhelmed today.
Yeah.
Whereas
did.
I do think the sauced mozzarella sticks in theory are fun. I did like the triple dipper we got in Encino with the boneless wings and the southwestern egg rolls. But I also think those are just like better apps than the sliders and the regular tendies.
The chicken crispers are fine.
They're fine.
They're totally passable
Totally fine.
chicken strips.
I also want to say that we came in and we had a wobbly table, and I think you and I just wanted to move, but then our guy he fixed the wobble. You were in the bathroom.
Yeah, our server was good.
It was nice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Hey, what was his shirt?
Oh yeah, it was like hanging at the ranch or something. It was a cup of ranch on a ranch.
Yeah.
And I told him I liked his shirt. It was good. He's like, they're new. He didn't really.
It's his work shirt.
He rightfully didn't care too much. I did think it was legit a cool shirt.
Yeah.
But,
I wonder if you can buy it.
Yeah.
I'll get you one.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but I would really love it also at the same time. But
I'm going to get you one. Do people think you work at Chili's?
I would love that. That would be stolen valor. Wags, neither of us have worked at a fast food place.
No, I've never worked in food service.
I worked at a theater, which is the closest I got to working like food service. And I guess a golf club.
We got I mean, it's this way. I did do a stint at a CPK as the hand job host. So.
I really was with you all the way to the last 2 minutes. You did? You never told me? Holy shit.
I got the 3 for me combo, which you get it's like one of the three is your drink. So my beverage was included in the three for me. I got the burger I got was the Big QP, which is their quarter pounder with cheese simulacrum, and which they're advertising as a QPC killer.
A big QP for the big QT.
Oh, Mitch. What a thing to
Aw,
say.
that's so sweet.
And a cup of baked potato soup, which was a server recommendation, and it also came with a side of fries. Mitch, you got yourself it was the buffalo chicken sandwich, correct?
Yeah, the buffalo ranch sandwich.
Buffalo ranch sandwich, and then you also got that with a side of fries, and you got a house salad with the avocado ranch dressing. And avocado ranch maybe could make inroads.
Yeah.
Maybe there can be another one that
That's
could go.
yeah.
I like
good
it.
Go
call.
global. And then Eva, you got the Pick Any 3 fajitas, which you got were with shrimp, beef, and chicken.
Yeah, it was like the classic trio is what they called it.
Classic trio, yeah.
So shrimp, beef, and chicken.
Sizzling fajitas are like one of the things, along with baby back ribs, that chili became known for,
And
it was back in the day.
And as we said in the first episode, when customers would hear the sizzle,
Yes,
the sales of fajitas would go up in the dining room.
it's true.
Yep. And we've said this. We said this on another episode too. There's the behind the scenes thing of them making the baby back rib song, and it's like we
Great
were saying,
video.
it's like seeing the Beatles or something. It is like it's fantastic. It's really cool.
That's cool.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a great behind the scenes little YouTube video on that. I will say that when the sizzling plate came out, it sounded fun to hear. It was
Very fun to hear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know how. I'm not sure how successful the fajita platter
They're not
was.
good.
Yeah.
They're not good
That's a
fajitas.
bummer.
But just knowing that you could go to any Mexican restaurant anywhere in LA and get good fajitas or better fajitas. There was what you were saying. They were salted but not seasoned.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
And it looks.
sure.
I was saying it looked like almost like it looked like industrial kitchen. It looked the most like industrial kitchen food. Even though I
Yeah.
know that is what this place is, obviously.
But you can sometimes really tell, like, oh, okay, this is like a Cisco chicken breast. And
Exactly,
they-
from a bag.
cut into
Yeah,
quarters,
it just
yeah.
sort of, and also just like I've made fajitas. They have to have cumin and some spices on them, and these are just
Sure.
unspiced. It felt
Right.
like so.
Yeah.
My avocado ranch salad was good and it has a cheese on there. I was
I
enjoying
like the
that.
Chili's house salad. I've gotten the dinner salad before.
It's good. The sandwich itself, one, the fries were way oversalted, and then also that buffalo chicken sandwich I thought was very salty. Wags, what did you think?
I just had the one bite. I don't know. It was working for me.
It was okay, yeah.
But it could have just been the that individual bite,
yeah,
It's hard to judge a full sandwich by one bite.
I want to say that the whole experience compared to the first time we went was worse, like all around for me. Everything was not.
You mean Tarzana,
Yeah,
but not 10 years ago.
No.
This particular I mean, like we went twice. I think it was actually the Encino location,
That's
but
right,
same
Encino,
difference.
yeah.
And the I definitely felt like it was like a better meal overall, like all around on that first go round. But it also could have been we were getting our first choices, and here
Yeah.
we're like, okay, I'll try something else. And maybe honestly, like for me with that burger, the one I picked, I was like, which I thought overall worked. I thought I was like, this is a pretty good quarter pounder with cheese replica. And, also just like kind of a classic sit-down chain burger. And I like the Chili's Big Mouth burgers. I think their burgers are pretty solid.
There was mustard on that bad boy.
There was
right?
mustard on it, yeah.
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 It looked good.
It was good. And it was, and it did have pickles, Mitch, which did help it quite a bit. But I got that because I was like, oh, well, this is a thing they're advertising a lot. It wasn't necessarily like the thing that I was craving as much. The baked potato soup I thought was quite toothsome. I was enjoying that. It was a good wreck. And and I think the burger was working. I don't know. I maybe had the most successful meal of the three of us, I guess I'm learning. I didn't find the fries overly salted, but I was also dipping those bad boys in ranch, which was cutting the salt a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that maybe was what it was. I don't know. I was salted out today on this trip. There's too much salt going
It was
on.
a lot of salt, a lot of sugar, a lot of salt.
You doing some ocean swimming?
I was just in the ocean right before I came. Maybe
that
that
would
was what it
explain
was.
it,
Yeah.
You meet me there. Oh. You come to suck my dick. Let someone do.
There's only one thing I'll do you now.
Aww.
Uh,
You Mitch married a gator?
That is the saddest ending for me is I marry Gator Puppet. I drove by you on the road and I was gonna hold it up and like make it talk at you on the road, and I was like, he'll think I'm insane.
I would have just gotten in an accident.
Intentionally?
it's like you're just like, now I've seen everything. Blow your brains out.
boy.
And we opted for no dessert. I mean, I guess that's the whole meal, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else? Anything else notable?
Service good at both locations.
Yeah, service was great at both times we went. They were doing a great job. It feels like Chili's is very much back.
Chili's is back.
I would go back to Chili's. I've been telling people to go to Chili's since our first meal.
No, this is the thing. Like, I had a fun time at both meals, even though I think this meal was maybe less successful food-wise.
Yeah.
I still just had a good time.
Chili's is back.
Chili's is back.
Chili's is back.
And it's
The
just
the cheese pullers. You've done a good job.
that's true.
We're very mean to the younger this TikTok generation, but they've brought Chili's back single-handedly. Congrats.
I mean, I think there's some successful strategizing that's going on the business side as well. Like, I think, again, just like really leaning into value was smart of them. And also, like, enough time has passed and since the pandemic where I think people are just like eager to go out. Like, it took a few years for things to really normalize and for people to really get comfortable like going out and being in large groups now. But now people are like, oh yeah, this sit down dining experience that we swung so far away from in favor of delivery. Maybe that's the thing I actually crave, and maybe that's actually a thing that's part of it beyond just like the food itself.
I hope so. That would be
it's
great.
It's actually like some, having a sense of community.
It's a vibes.
It's a vibe thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And
the vibes are great.
vibes of Chili's are good.
Yeah, they're good. I agree. Wags, I got back from Bayou yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what happened when I walked in the door?
What's that?
Wally and Irma were meowing up a storm for me. It was the cutest, funniest little thing I
Adorbs.
saw. I loved it. Yeah. And you know why I named Wally?
I do know why, but you tell everyone.
For my Quincy, Massachusetts, I live in the part of town I live in is called Wollaston, and my mom suggested as a name, and Irma was a character my sister used to do, an old lady character my sister used to do.
Mitch, I know your cats are a part of your family,
I
plain
love
and
them.
simple, and you want them to have the best food money can buy. And I, as a non-cat owner, didn't realize for years that cat food that a lot of people are buying has questionable ingredients.
That's right, Wags. Is your cat having digestive issues, throwing up their food, or is your cat simply in need of a diet upgrade? We've all been there. You should check out our next sponsor, Smalls.
This podcast is sponsored by Smalls. To get 35% plus an additional 50% off your first order, head to smalls.com and use our promo code Doughboys for a limited time only.
Wow. Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. That's why Cats.com named Smalls their best overall cat food. Wow.
Still not a believer in Smalls? Forbes ranked Smalls the best overall cat food, while BuzzFeed said, my cats went completely ballistic for this stuff. Smalls also has a bunch of amazing treats and snacks you can add to your order. Mitch's cats love the treats.
That's right, Wags. After switching to Smalls, 88% of cat owners reported overall health improvements. That's a big deal. Have a particularly picky cat? Smalls has a sampler so your cat can try everything. And the team at Smalls is so confident your cat will love their product that you can take it risk-free. That means they will refund you if your cat won't eat their food.
Wow. What are you waiting for? Give your cat the food they deserve. For a limited time only, because you are a Doughboys listener, you can get 35% off Smalls plus an additional 50% off your first order by using our code Doughboys.
Wow, that's an additional 50% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code Doughboys. Again, that's promo code Doughboys for an additional 50% off your first order plus free shipping at smalls.com. You know what Wally and Irma would say to that, Wags? That's cat-tastic.
Thought you were going to say meow.
Oh, meow.
All right, we should get to our final thoughts on this revisit to Chili's. Eva, you know the show. We'll each go around, give her a closing argument, if you will, and give this a fork score from 0 to 5. You're our guest. We'll begin with you.
Are we going to take both visits into consideration?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Okay.
Chili's is back.
Wow.
Chili's is back.
I want us to go up from, because it's better than it was 10 years ago. And most things don't get better, they get worse.
Do you want me to look up where we are 10 years ago?
I think 3.5 or
Was that
3
3.5? Was that where we
were?
landed?
Wags, you're the one who
Yeah, I
knocks
wanna see
out of
where
the
we
Golden
were.
Play Club.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
I want to know where we were 10 years ago.
Okay.
We were also confused. We didn't understand what the scores meant.
That's also true.
Yeah, we didn't have a baseline.
Neil was about to give Pizza Hut 1 star. Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
just make
yeah.
everything really weird.
Yeah. He did. I mean,
He changed the game.
Neil Campbell changed the game in the Doughboys world.
So it says Nick gave it 3 forks, Mitch gave it 4, and Eva, you also gave it 3.
I'm going 4.
You also
Wow.
got a skinny margarita back then too.
Yeah,
Wow,
I knew
how
my
about that?
order. I'm going at 4. And because Chili's is back.
Wow.
4
forks.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, Spoonman, what do you think?
Wags, look, there's been some bumps in the road as we've done this podcast. It's been bad, mostly bad the entire time we've done it.
You feel bad.
We feel bad. When we look at old pictures of ourselves, which I thought I was big then, we got much bigger.
Yeah, for
in
sure.
that time. We increased in size, which also I guess is probably just natural aging stuff anyways, but
To some degree.
to some degree, I don't know.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it was probably like a 60-pound swing at least. But we've been very lucky to have the show and have the listeners we have and have our wonderful, funny guests and friends on.
Yeah. And we're
that
lucky to have
includes-
you.
No, well, I don't know.
It's true.
Do you remember the gator bit from earlier?
Yay! Nick and Mitch.
Why are you clapping? Look, we are lucky to do this show, and it's fun to see this place after 10 full years of doing the show, and I think it has gotten better. I think from our first visit, I think I did enjoy these last 2 visits more, but I'm gonna stick around the same fork score. I'm going 4 forks, Wags.
Wow.
Actually, you know what? 4.5 forks.
4.5 forks. Wow.
I think Chili's, you know what? A place that's getting better and they're good at what they do. You know what I mean? They are.
Yeah.
They're what Applebee's is, Chili's is a better version of that. They're trying to.
I'm upping my score to match Mitch's. 4.5.
Wow.
4.5 forks. Wow.
4.5.
Yeah, I guess that is it's kind of those 3, right? It's Chili's, Applebee's, and TGI Fridays when you think of the classic sort of American sit-down chain restaurant. Even though they're all doing slightly different things, I feel like that's like if you're just thinking like in a vacuum of a generic chain restaurant, you're thinking of some approximation of one of the 3 of those, right? So that's really what's competing against.
Yeah, and the Chris Angel.
Kablip.
And Kablip, yeah.
Kablip is the other one I think of.
Yeah, Chris Angel's breakfast, lunch, and pizza. As I said on our pilot episode, and I have this written down, quote, as far as chain restaurants go, Chili's is one of the main ones.
This is from the first episode?
I said as far as chain restaurants go, Chili's is one of the main ones.
Man,
Is
your
it?
writing has gotten even better in 10 years.
That was off the dome. Pen was not put to paper for that one. I think this is... I think 10 years later, I can say that take is vindicated. I think it is one of the main ones.
Yeah.
People think of chain restaurants say, oh, yeah, Chili's.
And
I
it
think
deserves
so.
to be. It's earned its status.
I think it's very often top of mind.
Damn, actually, you know what?
Yeah.
That was really good writing.
And I had a great time at both of these visits. Some things were really working for me. I do think there is some deserved virality to the Nashville hot mozzarella sticks. I don't think I maybe necessarily dwelled on that enough. I'm a bit of a heat seeker. I thought those were nicely spicy, and I think that just like the marriage of the Nashville hot and the breaded mozzarella sticks and the cheese interior all sort of comes together quite nicely. I thought
It works.
That's a
It
great
is
app.
insane. I mean, I remember it's just a lot.
It's a lot.
Each one is as big as a deck of cards.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which Chris Angel should have a deck of card
He should
mozzarella
serve them
sticks.
at
Yeah.
Kablip.
That's
I thought that was great. There were some individual bites I really enjoyed. I did like my fake quarter pounder quite a bit today. And again, I just like the vibe. So do I want to be in the hand-holding club and say 4.5 forks with Eva and Mitch? Ultimately, I think that's a half fork too aggressive. I am going to say, welcome to the Golden Plate Club, to Chili's 4 forks.
Yay! Oh no, Jimmy.
It's back. Chili's is
but
back.
are you gonna deduct are you still gonna deduct a point for hurting your stomach?
Do I bring that back?
Yeah, you bring it down to 3.
I mean, look.
No.
You know what, Mitch? That was the previous 500 episodes. The next 500 episodes, we're starting fresh.
The next 500 episodes?
We expect our stomachs to hurt.
10 years?
Baseline.
We'll be 50. We'll be in our 50. I can't do it. I can't do that.
When do you want to quit then? When do you want to stop? Pick an end date.
When should the Doughboys? When should the Doughboys?
We have to end, no matter what, can we end on my 50th birthday?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But I mean, you better start planning now, Mitch, because that's coming up.
That's coming up.
If you think about it.
8 years.
Yeah.
Two more Trump presidencies. Dear Lord.
What's your contingency for turning the money spigot off?
Don't talk about it that way.
No, seriously. I mean,
the listener spigot.
Yeah,
the
but
AI overview that comes up when you Google when should the Doughboys quit is unreal.
It's unreal.
There's
Yeah.
so much information.
It's like
in
about one of the hosts, Mike Mitchell, has openly discussed the physical toll that frequently eating fast food takes on his health.
Talk about
the
past
speculation
discussions,
that-
health concerns,
Yeah.
format changes.
Some believe that the amount of fresh chain restaurant content available for review is dwindling.
This has more information than I
It's so much. It's
expected
more
it
than
to
I
have.
know.
Did this change after you mentioned the AI thing to us?
Ultimately, the decision of when the Doughboys podcast will end is up to the hosts, Mike
Yeah,
Mitchell and
okay.
Nick Weiger. That's where they
Wow.
resolve.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, it's
What do you think, Wags? 500 more episodes?
I can't do it.
No? You're gonna quit
technically if you include the doubles, we're closing in on 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, if you include the doubles,
Jeez.
but the doubles don't count. Come on.
hand job host. I do recognize you.
Time to go back to the old me, the Bugs Bunny meme with the guns.
I can't wait to come into Headgum and be like, there's a host at Headgum now? Nick's there. What studio we'll be using today? All right.
Right this way, Mr. Conover.
Can I just show you my purse?
You jack off his hair?
Imagine that's something about Mary. Spike would be scraping the ceiling. Okay.
Thank God Conover wasn't in something about Mary in that scenario. Thank God he wasn't in that scenario.
Can you imagine?
This guy can't.
How high
What
his
do
hair
you
would
think
be?
he uses to keep his hair so high?
Cameron Diaz would have been like, oh my God, just raising his hair to the ceiling.
He apologizes for letting his hair get so tall. Takes full responsibility.
Oh, by the way, yeah, the AI answers I looked at were from the orb. They were
From his eyeball.
it was from his
A
eyeball
shard of his
orb.
eyeball. From a shard of Conover's eye.
Hey, for the first few episodes of Doughboys, and we started this with the very first one. This next segment was a fixture, but it was quickly discontinued with
Wait,
cause.
hold on, we have one more thing.
Oh, before we get to the segment, we're
Yeah,
gonna do this
Jemmy,
now. Okay, Jemmy, don't leave the
come here.
studio. Jemmy, you're not off the clock.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
Happy 500.
Wow, look at that.
Don't
Jemmy,
eat it,
don't
Jemmy.
eat the chocolate
Don't eat it.
cake.
No chocolate.
Amelia
Guys,
just
that's
walked-
so sweet.
That's
Amelia's
so
walked in
sweet, guys. It's from Portos,
cake
too.
Yes.
from Portos.
It's a Parisian chocolate cake from Porto.
Wow, 500
Wow.
candles on them. How about that?
Are you guys gonna blow it out?
Not 500 candles, like a 500 count.
Amelia
there's
did
there's
ask
500
if we should get a
candles.
sheet cake and put 500 candles in it, and I was like, I don't know if that's even
Oh.
physically
Wow, the
possible.
wire queen is walking
Wow,
in.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
As well as Katie from
Wow.
Headgum. Thank you,
Thank you,
Anya.
Katie. Thank you, Anya.
Thank you guys.
Is this
Thank you,
actual
guys.
champagne?
It sure is.
I'll take a bastard up.
Perfect. Perfect response, everyone.
Thank you.
Is this actual champagne? I'll take a pass for now from Weiger. Wags, hey, to 500 episodes.
Amelia left.
Amelia's gone. I think there's only
Winks
thing
all
we can
around.
do.
I heard her say, "I'll drink his" as she walked out.
Great.
So
You wanna you guys you have to
Cheers.
blow it, make a wish.
Happy
birthday
birthday to
Shu.
Dough.
Show.
Dough.
Oh, we're going
birth-
dough. Okay.
Oh, wait, you.
I
Oh,
thought
Chew.
Chew. I thought Chew was the
Fuck, all
natural.
right, hold on, we'll start again.
Happy birthday
to
Chew.
Happy birthday to Chew. Happy birthday, dear Doughboys. Happy birthday to you. We sang the song to ourselves. Cheers.
Make a wish for the next 500 episodes.
Singing that song gets
Oh,
this
I'm so sorry.
this episode demonetized on
Did I hear
Spotify.
I
There you go, Amelia.
Think about it.
No, I think it's public domain now.
But you could-
You should help us blow it out too.
We did a parody.
Ready, Wags? The
Parody.
three of
Happy
us should
birthday
blow.
to Chew.
Wags, I think each of us get a number.
Headgum springing for Corbell. Okay.
Ready?
No.
1, 2, 3. I think each of us did blow out our specific candle.
How about
I'm not
that?
even joking.
Yay.
Wow.
That's
A lot
so
of fun.
sweet. Thank you guys.
Does someone want to subdivide this
Yeah, we
cake?
can
Actually,
take
this
this
would be a
back
good bit
here
of
and
business to
cut
do because I got a good amount of reading to do. For the first few episodes of Doughboys, we had this feature called an Unsatisfied Yelper that we periodically like to bring back. And I thought I'd do another edition of an Unsatisfied Yelper for global Chili's. That's
Wow.
right. Chili's has over 1,600 worldwide locations, and these are 1-star reviews from international Chili's.
Amazing.
All right, first up.
I have a question for you. Are we funnier than we were in our first episode? Specifically, you and I. We don't have to include the guest. Our guest is always funny.
I don't know if our
definitely louder.
I don't think our first episode. I don't even know if we made any jokes in our first episode.
You were so polite.
We were
So-
very.
We
We're
were
kinda-
funnier in our first episode.
we were kind of NPR-y, I think, in our first episode.
Yeah, watch out. Jemmy's got her eyes on those candles.
I actually just put one of her bison bones on the chair there in case she's trying to get at someone's cake too much. She can have a bone
Jemmy.
instead.
All right, this is a 1-star Yelp review from the Banff, Alberta, Canada Chili's. There are
Ooh.
3 Chili's in Canada, Mitch. We spent a little bit of time north of the border.
Sure.
Two of the Canadian Chili's are at airports. I believe this is the one that is not in an airport. Tracy B from Calgary read
I can't
this.
see exactly. It's a photo. We're
Well,
looking at.
I'll read
You'll
it and it'll
know
give
more
us some
in a minute.
context.
The Headgum needs to update that software
TV
on the TV.
The software on the TV is never being updated. We'll get that pop up every
worry
single
about
time we
that.
power it on. All right, Tracy B from Calgary writes, "We dined in at the Banff Chili recently. We were sat in the lounge area. There's a high top table in the center of the lounge, and on top of the table was a grimy cleaning bottle and a large dirty rag. This was in full view of everyone dining and was certainly a terrible eyesore. There is nobody who wants to dine and look at dirty cleaning supplies in the center of the place. We moved the bottle and rag down to a chair, and 3 times a different waitress and the bartender went out of their way to put it back up on the table. We talked to our server about this, and she agreed with us and said it was a forced rule by the manager. All I can say is what terrible management. Nobody wants to dine and stare at a filthy rag and cleaning supplies. I will also let the health inspector know. I have told a few friends and one sent me a photo of this filthy rag and bottle on top of the center table tonight. Gross."
Oh, so he didn't even take this. The person writing the review.
Tracy B didn't even take this photo. A friend took this on a separate visit. So this is just a thing that every time you go to the Banff, maybe some of our listeners have been to the Banff Chili's, there's just a dirty rag and a a spray bottle up on one of the bar tables.
Can I just say, I would hate to be the guy who's just in the background of that review. The guy who's just sitting there, like it looks like he just ate a mozzarella stick or something.
Is it snowy outside? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like it.
It
Snow
looks like
kissed.
Christmas lights in the trees too.
Wow.
A snow-kissed
Did
Chili's.
Scrooge write this?
P.S. I hate cheese. Oh, Scrooge hates cheese. Yeah, this does seem like a bit of a Karen. I would say, right? Like, I mean,
don't
look, that is
know.
that is gross.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a care. Like that, some of these reviews rise to that threshold. This seems to me like this is an insane Chili's.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
if this is a manager's policy that a cleaning supply bottle has to be in full view of the customers at all
cleaning
times.
supply bottle should be nowhere near where your food is going to
Yeah.
be. Like that looks like a table
Thank
that
you,
you
Amelia.
could, in theory, get sat at.
And a dirty rag.
Yeah,
sure.
That's pretty nasty.
The rag,
That seems gross to me.
is the worst part about it. I think if I saw a cleaning product on one table, I'd be like, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
think I would care that much. I guess the rag is worse.
This cake is delicious.
Is it good?
It's really good.
And why? Because we're probably in a part we're just as we were preparing here.
Yeah,
We did not have dessert at Chili's, and I was thinking about doing like a lava cake, but this is
this worked out
so
great.
much better.
This is a 1-star Yelp review from the Guam Chili's from Jen
Guam?
Bradford C. of Belmont, California. Surprise! They are still open. Please come and waste your money on microwavable food. I recently went here because Crapplebee's had its famous
Whoa.
35-minute wait to get a round of draft beers for my friends and I. Let's cut to the chase. The staff still seems to be uneducated in the basics of customer service. Guess they are too busy trying to snipe each other on Snapchat. Either that or too busy taking stupid selfies with the dog face theme features, putting things like #workgrind as the title. Literally saw a staff member do this while I was waiting 15 minutes for a glass of water. You would think having such an empty parking lot would encourage the staff or managers to come up with better cross-selling strategies or at least beef up their service, but no one lets the same let's offer the same pre-made crap we always have, not to mention the prices haven't gotten any better. I'm about 8 drinks in.
8 Chili's drinks. That's like 4,000 calories in
And
cocktails.
also,
And 16 shots
he
of liquor.
expects
Yeah.
the staff to lower the prices and come up with new menu items.
I
at this
mean,
Guam Chili's.
I don't think this guy
yeah.
knows how this industry works.
Isn't Guam have a military base?
Yes, this is that some of these locations are near or on military bases.
Okay.
I'm about 8 drinks in, and this quesadilla still tastes like it came out of an extreme Lunchables pack. One for teenagers where you get a Capri Sun in a can. I think I hate my friends more than this place for continually making plans to eat at these cookie cutter corporate fast casual dinners.
This dude is fucking miserable.
Also, the local
Jesus
menu
Christ.
is junk. Improve prices and re-educate the staff on proper etiquette for a workplace. And this guy's a piece of shit. This is a Karen.
This guy sounds like an American who went to a foreign country and expects them to treat him like they would in America.
Emma,
And
it's
has
funny-
like no understanding of like local cultures and stuff
Right.
and how these things work.
It's
Right,
funny
right.
because I read a lot of these reviews and we won't get to all of the ones that I read, but I went through dozens, and so many of them, I'd say most of them, are Americans complaining about a foreign Chili's. And it's just
Yeah.
like, you're on vacation and you're going to a fucking Chili's and then complaining about how it's not as good as the one in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Or that the service they don't treat, like, servers aren't the same in Oklahoma as they are in Guam.
Yes,
like,
right.
Of course they're not. It's
Yeah.
a completely different place.
I just think about more how this soldier is 8 drinks deep at Chili's, raging out and saying that he hates his friends more than the restaurant.
Just got deployed to downtown LA.
I know, yeah, absolutely.
I was just shocked that the review wasn't from. We'll bleep that out.
Here's a
Do you
1-star.
remember we found that person's? Remember we found their Yelp and it was insane.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We found their Yelp and it was insane.
Here's a 1-star TripAdvisor review from Tunisia by Matt T. Very poor quality. We came with a party of 8, and everyone agreed it was the worst Chili's ever. We regretted going.
Tunisia?
I consider myself a Chili's connoisseur, having had Chili's in many U.S. states, Puerto Rico, Paris, Singapore, Ecuador, Morocco, and other countries.
Right.
Chili's
God.
in Tunisia is so substandard that it should be closed. The boneless wings are crappy McNuggets. The sliders are piecemeal on stale buns.
Shit, because they got shipped from the States.
There are no tostada chips and salsa, a must-have item. Worst off, they wouldn't even serve us beer. They claimed it was impossible to get a beer in a restaurant across all of Morocco, Tunisia, and Egypt during Ramadan, which simply isn't true. Most other restaurants and all alcohol served alcohol during Ramadan. Bad service and even worse food. This guy is going.
Don't go to Chili's in Tunisia. What the fuck are you doing?
He's going to a Chili's in Tunisia during Ramadan.
I don't
What the fuck is he doing?
While ragging about how he's been to all of these foreign
Yeah.
countries that have wonderful food and you chose Chili's?
But also, like, it's a Muslim nation during a holiday that is about fasting and, like, where the whole religion has as one of its principles abstaining from alcohol, and you're angry that during Ramadan you can't get drunk at a Chili's.
That's like coming to the States and being mad that nothing's open on Christmas.
Yeah, the sense of entitlement was amazing.
All these people have been fasting all day that he's yelling at, too.
I know, exactly, yeah. This is from this is a 1-star Yelp review from Yokosuka Naval Base in Japan from Roberta S. of San Diego. The worst Chili's I've ever been to. Inconsistent, clearly poor and careless management, mediocre food. Yesterday, we went in the afternoon and were served by a gentleman who should not work in the service department. He kept on shaming my teenage daughter for her food choices and for overeating. When she ordered her meal, he told her nobody tends to eat the whole plate and he would bring her a to-go box with it right away. Who does that? Then when she ate most of it, he told her he'd never seen anyone eat all that food before,
What
and
the
this was the
fuck?
first time not bringing a to-go box. Then we ordered a dessert, which we split in 3. We started eating, and when he stopped by 15 minutes later, he made a comment on how we had snorted the cake. Unbelievable. I guess he enjoyed the pointless shaming more than serving because he only refilled our drinks once because we asked, and after our empty cup sat on the table. I had to drink my daughter's leftover soda to quench my thirst. Top this awful service experience with mediocre food. My burger was dry and overcooked. Fries were clearly recycled, and the lava cake was still frozen in the middle. Still no lava came out. I will never go to this place again. It would be nice to have a taste of home in a foreign country, but first the manager and a few employees need to get fired so they can hire someone who actually cares to be in the service.
I just gotta say, as an adult,
Yeah.
writing an angry thing that said no lava came out.
Yeah.
That is so fucking pathetic.
I also look, he should not have shamed a 13-year-old girl
Nope.
in a way that probably will give her a lifelong eating
Sure,
disorder.
that was very bad.
But it is kind of funny just to make fun of some big fat Americans, a Japanese guy, and to be like, oh, you fucking pigs.
That would be like, I've never seen anyone eat the whole plate before. That's disgusting. Also, him saying it's nice to get a taste of home in a foreign country. It's like, why?
Is Chili's
What
What are you
Yeah,
talking
home?
about?
Yeah, why is that part of your experience of traveling? Is getting a taste of home?
I understand. I do understand the novelty. Look, I'm not well traveled, but I do. But like, we went to like McDonald's Canada, and I was like, oh, I like the idea of like, hey, let's see what the Canadian McDonald's. I understand the appeal
weird
of that.
variations on things.
Yeah, so I kind of understand that from some from a certain standpoint, but I feel like you kind of have to go in with a little bit of curiosity and like an open-mindedness, and not the expectation that it will be exactly the same as your version at home.
Yeah.
Is this like someone who's stationed there on this military base? So they're like looking at it as like their piece of home while they're stuck there?
My assumption is that, yes, it was either someone who's stationed there or someone who was visiting a relative who was stationed there. All right, one more. This is a 1-star TripAdvisor review from Doha, Qatar. This is a Dr. M. Hussein left this. Chili's Hyatt Plaza threatened to take us to jail. Crazy.
What?
Hussam, the manager, called the police because they overcharged us on the bill and we were disputing the charge with him. It related to the use of a coupon and the rules around it, which I disputed with him. He said, if you don't actually pay the entire amount, I will have no issues to call the police. The police showed up, and I asked my family to leave because it was so embarrassing. He was explaining to me and the police that I should have read the rules, which we did, and none of them made sense anyway. He also was so worried about paying the extra amount of 30 rials from his own pocket. Chili's an international company. I did not think they would charge him, but he kept arguing and he was so scared about paying the 28 rials. My children were upset and embarrassed by the police presence. On top of that, after I agreed to pay the bill because of the intervention of the Hyatt Mall manager, this is a Hyatt Mall location, Chili's, Mr. Ahmad, nicest guy ever, Mr. Hussam added another 18 rials to the bill for no reason.
That's pretty funny.
I disputed it with him and he started to scream at me again. He even threatened to detain me. It was really an insane type of moment. Anyways, at the end, I paid the bill and added a 15% tip for the waiter. Also to tell Mr. Hussam, it is not about the money. It is about the lies and the false marketing campaigns. And we, as a customers, end up paying the price. I have never seen a manager that horrible, threatening, and insecure in my life. Other than that, burgers were good. One thing fajitas were horrible. One thing I noticed is there was an atmosphere of fear in the place. Every time the waiter or hostess wanted to do something, they would go in the back and ask the manager. The staff seemed frightened and really scared. I was scared. He called the police. Imagine the people working there.
I was scared? Why was he scared?
They called the police on him.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, he's acting insane.
No, the guy is not. I don't know if the guy is acting insane. I think the manager is maybe acting
But
insane.
even if the manager says they're going to call the police, maybe just let it go and
Yeah,
leave.
exactly.
I mean, like, this guy wouldn't give up this coupon thing. It's like,
true.
What happened?
That's
right?
fair, yeah.
I was imagining this was all about the Zeos Game Pass.
I got charged for the cat quiz game. I just clicked one thing.
What is the special thing about calico cats, though? They're
They're
not.
lucky.
They're all females.
They're all female.
They're all females.
I was scared. He called the police. Imagine the people working there. Horrible place. I hope Mr. Ehab, the district manager, will do something. I will call him. Wow.
Okay, you could have just called him and not posted the whole thing.
Yeah, sure.
You were
That's true.
scared. Post a Yelp review about how you got scared.
He was scared. Everyone was scared, and then his children were embarrassed by him. And
It's
embarrassed.
like
police
saying, like,
came.
the police came and that embarrassed my children and they should feel ashamed. It's like the police came because you stayed.
Yeah, you stayed.
and didn't give it up.
I don't know how much is it was 28 rials?
Yes. I don't know the conversion rate.
Let's find out how much 28 rials
All right.
are.
Otter? No.
Yeah. Qatar, Qatar, however you say it.
How much is
1 real is $0.000024.
So can you put in 20?
So we're talking about this coupon that changes the price in US.
About less than 50. What?
Less than a
penny?
cent?
I mean, again, is this the Qatari rial? Are there different currencies that are rials at different conversion rates? I don't know.
I mean, I also could see the psycho arguing over something less than a
Could
cent.
be, yeah, could be.
Highly possible. That's
Look, I think everyone loses in this scenario.
For
It doesn't,
sure.
especially the staff. Anyway, that was an Unsatisfied Yelper.
Wow.
It's time for our proper segment. I've got a food stuff we're going to decide if you should put in your mouth. It's Snack or Wack. And
Yay.
Mitch,
Wow.
I got us the Selena Gomez Oreo cookies.
Oh, wow.
These are a limited edition that I ordered from Oreos online. I'm going to circulate. I get two bags here. I'm going to circulate these. Let me read the copy here. I pre-ordered these. You had to get a 2-pack to get them shipped to you. These are horchata-inspired sweet snacks featuring a layer of chocolate and cinnamon flavor cream atop another layer of sweetened condensed milk flavor cream with cinnamon sugar inclusions, sandwiched between 2 Oreo chocolate cinnamon-flavored wafer cookies. So this is like a chocolate cinnamon Oreo, basically.
Sounds delicious.
I got
does
one
sound
of the
good.
other signature Oreos, and I'm trying to remember who it was. I'll remember.
Selena Gomez is my crush.
Yes.
I have a crush on Selena Gomez.
Did you see her Instagram post about this?
That about my
Oreos?
crush on her? Oh, no. Yeah, if she was here, I would definitely try to do that. Asking her first, but
I had the Post Malone Oreos.
Post Malone.
they're very good.
I didn't
found them
try
at
those.
at a drugstore, and I passed them around.
Selena Gator. Fuck. Selena Gator Mez. Ugh, fuck. Ugh, fuck.
I liked it.
I dipped below my first episode funniness. I'm fucked.
Mitch, I was actually reading the wiki for our first episode, and there's a quote section of the wiki. Do you want to know what your quote for the episode was?
Yes, let me hear it.
Oh man, that's my first bomb on this podcast.
What's next?
Nick's was he's talking about dismembering a small man and eating him for sustenance.
We're talking about mini me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
yours was
okay.
about pulling the chair out from under a woman while she's sitting down.
Hey! 500. I can't say it's my 500th bomb. I bombed so many times over the course of 500. Don't shake your head no at that, Amelia.
Will you give Jimmy
agreeing
the
with
phone?
you.
She's being
Wagger
such a good girl.
actually had 2 quotes in this one, and the second one was coincidentally I was on the Jared Fogle Wikipedia page recently, and then it says FYI this app was 3 months before Fogle's unspeakable crimes came to light.
We just talked about all the same stuff as
Nothing changed.
Yeah, here's the issue. We have kind of just repeated ourselves on the show.
yeah.
Life is a herald. Okay, so there are 5 signature designs here. Wait,
cookie design?
yeah. So we have Selena's Sound, Hot As My Heart, Play Your Heart
Oh.
Out, Selena in the Studio, and Ride or Die. So you can
Oh,
see
wait, there's just different designs.
different
Okay.
designs. So if you look at the cookie, like you see this one is the this is the Play Your Heart Out design. It's got a little heart on
I
there.
got hot as my heart.
You got Hot As My Heart, yeah.
And wait, is there
Wait
one
a
about having a crush on Selena?
I mean, Hot As My Heart feels like that qualifies.
Should I have
You
it?
can have that one.
Thank you, Eva. I gotta say this.
Let's go. Let's hand those over to the producer's
sure.
desk so the dais can have a taste.
I
still haven't had my cake, but I'm gonna go into this cookie.
I'm gonna say this. So Selena Gomez, I got a crush on her. Mi bella, etc., etc. But eating these cookies after this cake is tough because this cake is also this is a big time snack on this cake.
Oh, I mean, I've never had anything from Porto's that I don't love.
The cake is so good, and so now we got these Selena Gomez cookies, which I kind of like it.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
This is working for me.
Yeah.
I could
Oh.
definitely crush a sleeve of these.
Okay.
It's reminding me of something, and I'm not sure what it is. It'll
Yeah.
come to me.
You ever do one of these?
It's like a chocolate graham cracker.
Twist this sumbitch open, and then
Are you asking if we've ever twisted open an Oreo
watch
before?
my technique.
Ugh.
Just take the cream off with your bottom teeth.
And then you just have dry cookie.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
just
you
skip
don't need
the
to worry about
cookie.
these.
I was like, there's 2 different creams on this.
Save it
You
for the
could-
hostess stand, you freak.
These are like honey grams or like
Oh.
Teddy grams.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Like the chocolate Teddy Grahams.
They're very much like Teddy Graham.
I need
Maybe I'll
do they make these in double stuffed? I need to try more cream.
I haven't seen them in double stuff.
Try the
You can
Lager
make your
method.
own.
Yeah, make your own double stuff.
No. We're not calling licking the cream off the cookie the Weiger method.
I
Yeah,
need
you
to try more
could
queen.
put 2 together and make your own double stuff. But there's 2 different types of cream in each one, right? So would that be like a quadruple stuff?
I guess so.
I gotta say,
I like these. I
These
think
are
these are
pretty
working
good.
for me.
Very interesting.
I just tried the Weiger method and it's very fun.
don't
Yeah, right?
Don't say that. You knew the method.
I didn't know what it was called though. Now
Yeah,
I know
no,
it's
yeah, we
called
all
the
know what it's
Weiger
called.
method.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the Mitch method there. Look at
How about that?
that. Nothing left on that bad boy.
Well done.
Method kind of looked like the Weiger method.
Casey,
It's true.
it was fun being there wrapping your movie last night, remember?
These are a big time snack for me. I think these are great. I think they absolutely work.
They're better than Post Malone. I'll give them a snack.
What was the Post Malone flavor?
It was salted caramel cream
Mm.
and something else going on with the cookie.
I buy, because I watched some of her Instagram posts and I read the caption or whatever. Like, I buy that this actually comes from a place of like, hey, I like these flavors. Because sometimes these celebrity tie-ins, it's just like Anthony Davis doesn't actually give a fuck about jalapeno lime ruffles. Like he has, I don't buy that he has any connection to this. You know what I mean? And I like Anthony Davis, Laker great, but it's just like this is just they told him this was going to be his ruffles flavor, and he was like, yeah, sure, put my face on it.
Well, Selena Gomez has like a cooking show, so it makes sense that she'd like make her own little flavors.
I buy that. Like, oh, she like horchata. It seems like that's a flavor she likes, and this seems like a good combo of the celebrity and the flavor profile. I don't know. I think that this works on that from that standpoint, but also just tastes fucking good.
I think the cookies are a snack. I think Selena's a snack.
Yeah.
I think she should ditch this. Should I not say that? Was it weird?
No, keep going.
Oh.
Say more.
Was saying Selena's a snack? Was that?
Escalate. Escalate.
I think she should ditch the goon and get with the spoon. This makes me like her even more. She made a good Oreo.
A good Oreo.
I mean, I love you. But yeah, I'm turning red. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Selena Gomez.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think these are working. I mean, I thought that movie was bad, but not her fault.
Wait, what movie?
The fucking one that came out last year that was a dog shit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What the fuck was that called?
The Netflix movie?
Yeah.
I even forgot that it was nominated for an Oscar,
It was
wasn't it?
awful.
Amelia Perez.
Yeah, I want to call it Vicky Barcelona, but that's not it. That's
Vicky
part
Barcelona.
that's part of the Woody Allen the Woody Allen title.
Yes.
Different movie.
Yeah.
Penis to vagina song.
Penis.
God. That movie's fucking awful.
Yeah.
It truly might be the worst movie I saw last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really bad. I'm not saying that with hyperbolically either. I saw Red 1 last year. Don't start. Don't you start.
You love Red 1? She kept that going. We thought was a bit, and she really liked Red 1, apparently.
Whoa.
What's the consensus from the dais about the Selena Gomez Oreos?
Slam dunk.
Yeah, I
Slam
loved it.
dunk.
Snack
Wow.
all the way.
I would
Wow.
eat a whole sleeve of those
Yeah.
for
Wow.
sure.
Real good.
Those would be good in like a cookies and cream, but with that instead of like a regular
Oh,
Oreo,
that's-
I
like
love
in an
that
ice
pitch.
cream.
I just want. I think it's a good dunk.
Yeah.
I think
would love to
the
dunk it.
cake didn't help on top. The cake is delicious.
I still haven't had my cake.
You need a
I'm
piece
hopefully get to my cake while we're talking about the feedback. Hey, just like a restaurant about your feedback, let's open to the feedback. And hey, we went back to Hank Friedman for this one, our very first emailer from our episode 1 feedback. Amelia, you were saying he lives in Germany now, is that
Yeah,
correct?
he moved to Germany.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I used to was an intern on Comedy Bang Bang when he was an editor on it. So so I reached out to Hank, and he
Hank
sent in a
is-
question
Hank's
from
great.
Germany.
We all work with Hank and knew Hank, and I think that's why he emailed in for the first episode.
I know Hank as well as you, but that's a great that's Hank. Thank you for we reached back out to Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Hank. Hank
Wow,
writes,
a listener from year 1 that's still alive is a great sign.
Yeah.
I've lived in Berlin and traveled around Europe for almost 2 years. And
Wow.
the rules for tipping here in the old countries are different, especially at restaurants not accustomed to filthy American tourists. The waiters are so thankful for even a 5% tip. At a cafe, people sometimes fork over like 25 euro cents, and the workers show genuine gratitude. It's weird. What would it take to get that sort of thing going in America outside of a complete collapse of society and a rewriting of the Constitution? Thanks, Hank. It's an interesting question because, like, we Mitch, you and I had having this podcast that depends on the work of people in fast food and chain restaurants.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I zoned out during the question.
It doesn't matter. We'll recap. We tip generously to our service workers, but also U.S. tipping culture is an abomination. It's fucking horrible. And now these pressures that exist on people to tip at places where you didn't previously tip. Where, again, we're probably management now is like, well, we're going to pay you less because you're a tipped employee, because that's part of the scam of American capitalism, is that there are laws where you can pay someone sub-minimum wage if they're a tipped employee. And so their pay is supplemented by the customers. But now all of a sudden there's an expectation that wherever you go, they're gonna flip the toast screen around on the tablet, and you're gonna have to pick a number to add a little bit of a percentage tip on absolutely every transaction. Like, that's out of control. The thing is, as far as what we can do, there's nothing you can do. That's just baked into how we do business in America. In fact, I expect it to get worse. When we have a new law that says there's no taxes on tipping, I feel like that's just going to lead to even more of this, right?
Are people going to tip less?
Are people going to tip less? Or actually what I think what will happen is just like service workers will be paid even less, and they'll have to rely even more on tips for their compensation.
Yeah, or more things will become tips.
More things will become tips, and more jobs that weren't previously tip jobs will become things where there's some gratuity expected. I'm going to eat some of this chocolate cake.
It's a good question. I mean,
like only in tip culture, like restaurant culture, is it just like what can you do while you're at a restaurant to like make them feel special, the people that are serving you, as opposed to the other way around? Or is it specifically tipping?
You're just saying,
I think Hank's question was, how do we change tip culture in America? I think that's generally more of what he was getting at.
pay everyone a living wage.
Yeah.
And then tips
just
won't
eliminate
be
tips.
something that are such a big deal.
And that has to be mandated by legislation, which
Yeah.
would be turned over by the Supreme Court. So it'll never happen, Hank.
Right.
Or make menu prices exactly how much like labor costs, like put everything into the amount on
Yeah.
the menu.
yeah, which is already overinflated anyways. I mean, like we talked about a thing earlier today of how Pizza Hut pizzas were $20 per pizza.
Yes.
Restaurants have tried that, Amelia, and it is a good pitch and it feels like a solve, but restaurants have tried that and customers rebel because they see a higher price in front of them. They're like, I'm not paying that.
Right. They seem to like it better if they see a lower price on the menu, but then a thing at the bottom that's like there's a 3% back of house charge and then an 18% front of
Like
house
a service
charge. And so
charge,
then you end up still paying
That's
the same
just a
amount as if it was
psychological
baked
thing.
in.
But
It is,
that's-
people are dumb.
Yeah, Emma's right. People are dumb. That psychological aspect is important, and that's what people are habituated to. So I think that yeah, unfortunately, it would be nice if that was a solve, but
I did like how you were like, it's systemic and it will only change through legislature as you were just eating a piece of cake.
this cake is good as hell.
It's very, very good.
That's kind of where I land, is just kind of retreating into simple pleasures. You know, I mean, just like that. Yeah, the world is fucking horrible, but I'm enjoying this piece of cake.
I mean, a
It's
place
fucking
like
good.
Porto's, I don't know how Porto's does it, but their prices are still fairly low. Like like that cake was $30, which is maybe a lot for
One and one
pastry,
half
but that's
Pizza
a
Hut
huge.
pizzas.
Yeah, exactly. That's a huge cake. We all had some, and there's more than half of it left. Like you could do that for a whole party, and it's only $30. I
That's
feel like that's
awesome.
not bad. Like you can get a croissant for $3. Like it's not. It's like I don't know how they keep their prices low.
Eva,
Yeah.
it was your episode. Another one of your great episodes you've done on the podcast over the years. You've been so generous with your time. We went to movies, and it was on your episode
Oh,
where
yeah.
over the price of the Cocksmoker chicken sandwich, I exclaimed, it cost $30. And I'm realizing now in a few years, that'll just be like the cost of everything.
Everything we've ordered today costs like $26, $27.
This is things just cost $30 now. Lunch is just $30.
Yeah.
It's no longer even notable. And that was
Yeah.
just a few years ago when $30.
Who did
felt mind-blowing.
$40 a day? Was it Rachel Ray, or does her name just rhyme with $40 a day?
I think that was Rachel
That
Ray.
was Rachel
It was
Ray.
Rachel Ray. Hey, good rhyming by her. But the $40 a day feels even more impossible now. If you're not if you're not tipping somebody.
Like you're living on $40 a day.
Yeah, she used to be like, I'm gonna try to like eat breakfast, lunch. Like she would eat like a whole day's worth of stuff for $40 a day. It's like that's impossible. That show does not exist anymore.
That show was bullshit, right?
Yeah, it's probably bullshit.
It's just fair.
Fuck you, Rachel Ray.
She was sneaking a granola bar or something. She wasn't like subsisting on $40 a
You
day.
had your pocketbook was filled with fucking granola bars. That's fucking bullshit.
She bought them yesterday. It doesn't count towards this $40.
Yeah, that show I think was just bullshit, but it was fun to watch. Yeah, I don't know if there is a way to fix it, and I overly tip, and I think sometimes we talk about this and people are like, that's crazy that you tip so much, but we're lucky to make money from this show, and I try to tip like always at least 30%.
It's
Yeah.
such a clear, for us specifically.
Sure.
We have a podcast about chain restaurants, and we make good money off of it. There's no reason for us specifically to not be overly generous when we're tipping people. But the whole system is rotten. No one should like tipping should not be like what people were saying earlier. People should be paid a living wage and should not be reliant on tipping to make ends meet. And it should be a thing that, yes, is optional for exceptional service, but unfortunately, it's expected for any service. And now it's the sort of things like, hey, someone gave me shitty service and they were, like everything about this experience sucked. I'm still giving them 20% minimum because I know it's like you're in an Uber driver. You have an Uber driver who endangers your life, and you're still like, well, I'm giving them 5 stars because I don't want this person to lose their job because that's how all these things. It fucking is horrible.
Maybe you don't give them 5 stars.
I think a server could call me a dumbass tiny dick, and I would give him 20% tip no matter what. I think there's like I probably
The
be funny.
manager could call the police.
Very
and we could put the dirty rag on the table.
I gave $20. I went to Del Taco Wags, and I gave the guy at the drive-thru $20, and he went, "Huh?" And he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's for you." And he goes, "Why?" And I was like, "It's just for you for doing what you do."
I mean, I think people at drive-thrus never tip.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, especially cash.
And well, he came back and he was like, "Do you want like a milkshake?" And I was like, "No." I wasn't trying to bribe. I wasn't trying to like win a milk. It was like very nice that he offered it. I could have gotten a milkshake if I wanted a milkshake, but I was just trying to. But he like truly didn't get it, which is a bummer. I mean, like that fast food windows, you're not going to get tipped anyways.
Yeah,
probably dealing with the worst of the people in the world. But
it's only a matter of time before you're at a fast food window and they got the tablet. And they're like, hey, we can just, they're just going to ask you a question right there. And they turn the screen around and all of a sudden
you do that at Starbucks. They'll like hand the little thing out the window and they're like, here, it's just going to ask you some questions. And it's like the tip amount.
Careful.
Right, exactly.
Wait,
she won't eat it. She won't eat it.
Phew.
Jimmy, you're too.
It's going to ask you some questions. It's going to ask one question.
yeah. I know what it's going to ask.
Do you like me? Yes, no. Also, 45%.
Wow.
If you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at feedbag@birdfuck.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GODO. That's 830-463-6844. Our producer is Emma Erdbrink. Our associate producer is Amelia Marino. Our supervising video producer is Casey Donahue. Our video editor is Mike Dorfman. Mitch, since this is our 500th episode,
yes,
there is someone we should shout out that we haven't talked about on the podcast for a while, but was a part of the first episode and was a part of how the show started and helped bring the show into existence. So, just want to say a thank you to our original producer, Dustin Marshall, for being a part of the show and for helping us launch Doughboys for those first couple of years.
Yeah.
Doughboys apparel and merchandise available at kinshipgoods.com, and you can get the Doughboys double at patreon.com/Doughboys. Eva Anderson, thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
What a hoot.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to plug?
Abolish ICE. Get the military out of downtown LA. Fuck Trump. Fuck Dr. Phil, who's doing ICE raids for some reason.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just all these ghouls.
That guy
fuck
always
Stephen Miller.
sucks.
He went to Stanmo High. Fuck him. Get the federal government out of fucking downtown LA and stop deporting people and leaving their kids alone. And yeah, that's what I wanted to plug.
Yeah, my Switch 2 is on the bottom of that list. To be clear. Do you have any final thoughts, Mike's 500 episodes? Thank you to all the listeners that listen to the show. Thank you for all our guests over the year, Eva especially.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wags. Well, thank you to the dais, to all three of you guys,
to our crew,
and Drop King and Fish, and everyone who is Vinod, everyone who has helped with the show over time, and for people listening and to such a dumb show, and we're very lucky to have it. And, I'm lucky to have you too, Wags.
Oh, I'm lucky to have you, buddy.
Any thoughts?
That'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time, for the Spoonman, Mike Mitchell, I'm Tiger Wagger. Happy eating.
Wait! I have a couple old friends that this is a little throwback. I have just a message from in a moment of meow.
Irma, 500 episodes of Doughboys. What do you think? You think it sucks? Irma? Wally, what do you think? You like it, but you're an incel?
That's it.
Yay!
See ya.
That was a Headgum podcast.